to the devil's lock. 3 daughters stolen, Amanda, Gina, Michelle, chained in hell's basement, no one could tell. Lost in plain sight, praying for a sign while the world moved on, leaving them behind. But in a Charles Ramsey, just an everyday guy, dishwasher hustle with a street smart eye. From a rough past, crack fights, time in the pen, turned his life round, started over again. Eating McDonald's on his porch that May Day, didn't know glory was screaming his way. Then came the cries pounding through the wall, a desperate voice breaking through it all. I'm Amanda Berry, a name from the faded news, a ghost rising up with nothing to lose. Most would have walked, ignored the sound, but not Charles, he put his burger down. He kicked in that door, shattered the storm screen, pulled her to freedom from the nightmare scene. I knew something was wrong, he said with a shrug, when a pretty white girl runs to a black man's hug. Dead giveaway, yeah, that's the line that stuck, turned him viral, auto-tune, what the fuck? It's a doorway to dawn where the hopeless break free, a busted up barrier in Cleveland's decree. Charles heard the call, wouldn't turn a blind eye, showed the world courage, don't need no alibi, brought back the daughters we given up for dead, stood as the savior, no crown on his head. The day the captives defied the grave, the memes exploded, the laughs came fast, but Charles heard chains, felt the horror last. No hero cape, just a man with a heart, barbecued with the monster, played neighbor's part, didn't suspect the evil next door hid, till that fateful kick flipped the lid. Fame hit like lightning, TV lights so bright, book dead giveaway, sharing his fight. Drew carries wisdom, world your hood now, but Cleveland's his home, he'll take that vow. Gave away burgers to the homeless crew, free McDee's for a year, he shared it true. It's a doorway to dawn where the hopeless break free, a busted up barrier in Cleveland's decree. Charles heard the call, wouldn't turn a blind eye, showed the world courage, don't need no alibi, brought back the daughters we'd given up for dead, stood as the savior, no crown on his head. The day the captives defied the grave, the day the captives defied the grave. Years later, low-key in an east side spot, stepped from the spotlight, giving what he got. Reads ancient books, seeks the roots of sin, wears shades in the dark, cause fame wears thin. Model roommate now, cleans and stays chill, patrols for the bad with a vigilant will. Touches base with Michelle, sees her thrive, while resentment lingers for neighbors who lie. No billionaire dreams, just humble and real, unlikely hero with a raw appeal. From crack to rescue, he flipped the script, proved one man's guts can make evil slip. Stood for the lost, for the city he claims, Charles Ramsey, legend in his own name. It's a doorway to dawn where the hopeless break free, a busted up barrier in Cleveland's decree. Charles heard the call, wouldn't turn a blind eye, showed the world courage, don't need no alibi, brought back the daughters we given up for dead, stood as their savior, no crown on his head. The day the captives defied the gate, the day they defied the grave. Charles Ramsey, unlikely king. The doorway to The cameras are gone, the laughter is faded, but the lesson he taught us, it hasn't degraded. It's a call to the country, a call to the brave, to listen for the voices we're trying to save. From the city sidewalks to the fields of green, we're all our brother's keeper in the spaces unseen. This show is a testament, a promise we make for every lost soul, for God's holy sake. We won't let the darkness just swallow the light. We'll stand on the porch and we'll stand up and fight. We'll be the dead giveaway for the evil that hides. We'll be the great nation where hope still presides. We'll tear down the doors of the prisons they build until every chair at the table is filled. For God and for country, for the ones who are gone, we'll keep watching. It's the doorway to dawn, where the hopeless are found. A broken down door on American ground. A man heard the call, he refused to give in, and showed a lost nation where miracles begin. We'll bring back the daughters and sons that we mourn. We'll stand for the lost ones till a new day is born, and the missing no longer defy the grave. They won't defy the grave, 'cause we'll be listening, we'll be watching, like Charles Ramsey. We're saving the lost. This is the promise. This is the doorway to dawn.
All right, guys, I'm Nick the Hat, and we have a wild guest tonight. Charles Ramsey, the guy that rescued Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight with nothing more than a Big Mac. So it all happened on May 6th, 2013, 12 years ago, when Amanda managed to get to the door, Charles to hear. It just so happened that Charles got back from McDonald's where the kidnapper was going. Amanda had been held for nearly 12 years with two other girls. He impregnated Amanda, impregnated all of them, but forced abortions out of the others. Ramsey's going to go into detail about that in a swimming pool, and it's rather disturbing. But nevertheless, this has a lot of colorful language, to put it mildly. So that's your fair warning. We have a lot of warnings before it begins. I just gave you one. Another one's going to pop up, and there'll be probably 10 more in the middle. The language is very strong, no filters. So anybody under the age of 17, I recommend you guys go on. But everybody else, thanks for watching, and it's going to be a wild night.
10 years of shadows on a Cleveland block, a neighborhood blind to the devil's lock. 3 daughters stolen, Amanda, Gina, Michelle, chained in hell's basement, no one could tell. Lost in plain sight, praying for a sign while the world moved on.
On December 30th, from wherever you're watching or listening, NIK is bringing together a powerhouse legal panel former acting Pennsylvania Attorney General Bruce Castor, former Montgomery County District Attorney, longtime prosecutor, and yes, he served as an attorney for President Donald Trump during the 2021 Senate impeachment trial. Also joining, Joseph Lesniak, former chief prosecutor of the Special Victims and Domestic Violence Division, and the chief and lead prosecutor for Pennsylvania's Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. On the defense, he's known for working cases where the stakes couldn't be higher, representing the likes of high-profile figures such as comedian Bill Cosby, and bringing the First Amendment heat, Norm Pattis, nationally known trial lawyer and criminal defense attorney, with a reputation for taking on the cases other people only argue about online. And added to the lineup, Representative Jeremy Faison, Republican member of the Tennessee House of Representatives for the 11th District, serving in House leadership as Majority Caucus Chairman of the House Republican Caucus. We're mixing the legal world with the voices you know from your true crime feeds. On the panel, Jay, the host of Crime Time Buzz, and Mr. E of Mr. E's Crimecast.
Cleveland police say there are no new developments in the case of Michelle Knight, who was reported missing last week. Knight, 21, failed to appear at a custody hearing on Friday and has not been seen or heard from since. Investigators say Knight has a history of instability and may have left voluntarily. Family members dispute that claim, saying Knight had made plans with relatives and would not have disappeared without warning. Tonight, the Cleveland Division of Police is looking for a missing teenager who disappeared Monday evening. 16-year-old Amanda Berry was last seen leaving work at the Burger King restaurant on Lorraine Avenue. Mother, Luana Miller, says Amanda is not the type to run away and believes her daughter may be in danger. Police have opened a missing persons report and say they are actively following up on leads.
14-year-old Georgina Gina De Jesus was last seen near West 105th Street and Lorraine Avenue around 3 p.m.
Say I kidnapped you. Say I come to your house tonight, Greta, and kidnap you. Or send two of my friends to come get you.
And did she say anything more to you?
Like what?
Like, thank you for opening the door? Getting me out?
What does she need? What do I need gratuity for? She's shaking like a leaf.
So you felt that justice was served today?
Only if you're not human. But I just can't see why electrocuting his and or firing squad, or both, or let me have him, wasn't on the table. You know what I'm saying? I jumped on my bike, went to McDonald's, came back home, I'm in my house, or guillotine, town hanging, guillotine. So yeah, I'm happy, but and I went outside and wondered what he was doing 1,000 years. And then after you're done with that, then you do what you do? Life. So you gotta do 1,000 years and then life. Then what? Sure, he's not gonna do it. He's a human. Think about it. A man will say, I'm stuck in here, help get me out. So he either don't know English that well or panic. Well, he just looked at me and was like, he's a girl. And that's all he did. Just kill him there.
Obviously, you're still very affected.
Bro, in the year that you've been there, bro, Man, listen.
Yeah.
I wonder how Mr. DeJesus feels, if he's satisfied with what came out, or Amanda Berry's mother. We know where she is, God rest her soul, but I'm sure she's like, what? That's
Luana Miller, the mother of missing teen Amanda Berry, has died without ever learning the fate of her daughter. Miller, who had become a fierce advocate in the search for Amanda, passed away suddenly after years of public appeals.
If I could do it all over again, the only thing I would do is not have Amanda notify the police. I'd have notified a few of my friends. Would have taken Amanda, Michelle, and Gina to the hospital. You could have called the police from there. Well, why? Because me and my homies would have been in Ariel's house waiting on him to get back from McDonald's. And I'm going to chain you up in your base, and I'm going to rape and beat the hell out. So it worked out for all of us. Them girls are fine. I'm right here. He made his demise. Now, when the police got there, I told her, I said, they coming for me, because I just cussed them out. So you might have to go in the next call. She said, no, we're going to go together. I said, fine. When the police got there, I'm the only black dude on street. I'm waving them down. I said something smart to them. So when they pull up and they looking at me sideways, I'm looking at them and they look at her. Went to McDonald's, came home, me met McDonald's. So I helped her get out the house. I ain't thinking that you really that girl that's missing. You've been gone for so long, you think you lying. And she called the police. When it came back, it was her. And then she said it was 2 more girls up in the house. Now, I don't know this. I just helped her. I ain't there were any people. No, because I done pulled this heroic stuff last year. And that cop looked again. He said, Amanda. She said, yeah. Even the cop broke down to his knee. He didn't know what to do. He started shaking. You got a gun on your side. What you shaking for? He like, where you been? She like, in that house right there. All this time in that house right there. So we like, well, come on with me. We gonna get you together. She said, hold on. There's some more girls in that house. I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she ran into a black man. Gosh, realized, smile. I well, like this. He goes, it is you. I'm playing you. He go another cop girl. And he showed the cop up. He asked her again, what you say? He said, I'm telling you, man, there's some more girls in that house. That's why I really don't want to leave here. Let's just get them all out right now. Remember, we got cars on this street. She was free. All she had to do was get in somebody's car. He stuck around for the police to get there to tell them, go in there and get them. Amanda Berry is a hero. That's a damn celebrity, not me. I just played my position. Wrecking ball if I needed, a bulldozer if I needed, and a couple construction dudes and a whole bunch of hard hats and ear thingamajig, and me with dynamite. I don't even know if I'm allowed to have dynamite. Don't worry about it. Just stand.
We have breaking news out of Cleveland's West Side tonight. A woman identifying herself as Amanda Berry has reportedly contacted 911 from a residence on Seymour Avenue.
Right now, the breaking news out of Cleveland, a really unbelievable story. 3 young women missing for decades, found alive and together in the same house just blocks from where they vanished. A remarkable tape of a neighbor identified only as Charles, who knew something was wrong and took action. Listen to this.
Hey, Charles, let me talk to you. I'm talking with Charles Ramsey. He's a neighbor. Her screaming. I meet my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts, trying to get out of her house. So I go on the porch. And she says, help me get out. I've been here a long time.
Take a look at this picture. It says it all right there. Amanda Berry beaming right in the middle after missing for 10 years.
And this is a map we want you to take a look at. Amanda Berry was 16 when she disappeared in 2003. Gina DeJesus vanished in 2004 at age 14. And Michelle Knight was 21 when she went missing in 2002. And you can see they were all found so close to the locations where they were
Investigators have confirmed that Gina was friends with Arlene Castro, the daughter of Ariel Castro, a former school bus driver who lives in the neighborhood. Police have interviewed Castro, but he is not considered a suspect at this time.
Okay, guys, how are you? As you guys know, I'm Nick the Hat. I haven't been here in about a year, but I have an all-star panel for you guys tonight. We have Court TV's Julie Grant joining us. Most importantly, Mr. Charles Ramsey. He told me about this earlier. We're going to have Mr. E and Jay on as well. Charles, thank you for coming on. It's an honor to have you.
Honor to be on your show. Likewise, thank you, bro.
Julie, of course, it's an honor to have you on as well.
Yes, nice to meet you too, pretty lady.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's great to be with you, Nick, and with you, Charles.
So tonight we are going to discuss, obviously, the Cleveland 3 case, a rather sick one out of Cleveland in 2013 in May. May 6, 2013, Charles Ramsey saved, he doesn't like this phrasing, but he rescued 3 women by kicking in the bottom of a door that maybe if he wasn't there, maybe Amanda would have gotten out, even though neighbors were walking by and not paying any attention. There's a chance, slight chance. At the end of the day, he kicked that door and it echoed across the world. Amanda came out. She had been missing for 10 years. The perpetrator had impregnated her, raised a 6-year-old child, I believe at the time. She was 6, named Jocelyn. Charles kicks the door in, has to put down his Big Mac, and I'll let him tell the rest when we get there. It's a crazy story that Hollywood tried to recreate, and they couldn't because they couldn't get a hold of this guy, I guess, or they didn't do their due diligence. But tonight we're also going to bring in a little bit about Melody Buzzard, a 9-year-old that went missing. I am not the most privy to this, which is why we have Julie on, and we're going to play a pre-produced package about the case just to give everybody a little rundown before we hop in, and we'll be right back.
Melody Buzzard in disguise, brand new images to show you released in the investigation of the missing California 9-year-old girl.
Well, Ashley Buzzard, the mother, is the focus of investigations now in the case of her missing daughter, Melody. She's in court right now for her first hearing. The two went on a road trip early last month from California to Nebraska, but authorities say Ashley returned without her daughter and has not been cooperative in trying to explain her whereabouts. Witnesses say she cut out Melody's face on her daughter's missing child posters.
9-year-old Melody Buzzard has vanished under troubling circumstances. School officials flagged her absence last week after she failed to enroll in her independent study program and hadn't been seen in months. Deputies visited the Mars Avenue home and found only her mother, Ashley Buzzard, who offered no explanation for Melody's disappearance. Investigators say Melody was with her mother as recently as October 7th and may have been transported hundreds of miles away in a rented white Chevrolet Malibu, possibly as far as Nebraska. The mother remains uncooperative, and missing child signs now line the neighborhood as family members demand answers. The FBI has joined the search, but the trail remains cold, and the question still looms. Where is Melody Buzzard?
Now to a case that's made national headlines. The mother of a missing 9-year-old girl is now under arrest in Santa Barbara County, California. Authorities say it's not directly related to the search for her daughter, but the sheriff also releasing new surveillance video showing the two wearing wigs at a rental car agency just 2 days before her daughter was last seen.
This is the last known recording of Melody Buzzard, according to authorities. Video obtained by the sheriff's department from a rental car facility surveillance camera shows Melody, who's 9 years old, with her mother Ashley, both wearing wigs.
Right now, we turn to your top story, brand new images of missing child 9-year-old Melody Buzzard. Take a look at these. Authorities are releasing these surveillance photos showing what appears to be Melody wearing a hooded sweatshirt and a wig. Now, this is footage from a car rental business in California back on October 7th. This morning, Melody's aunt is reacting to those photos. Elizabeth Meza spoke with Ashley Banfield on her show, Banfield on News Nation. Take a listen.
We haven't seen her in 4.5 years. So what we know her as, I mean, she was just a little 4-year-old girl when we had known her. But that nose definitely, reminds me of her dad's. So yeah, it does look like her.
All right, now investigators say Melody and her mother, Ashley, rented a car and went as far east as Nebraska. By October 10th, Ashley returned to the family's home without her daughter, Melody. Melody was then reported missing days later. Her mom has not been cooperative in the investigation.
All right, guys, so we're back. How do cases in today's day, when you have social media and thousands of leads that could be coming in, how do cases make it on your desk, and who's the decision maker? Is it you? Is it a team? Is it like in the movies where they have like a group of interns that are up all night?
It's not the interns. I'll tell you that. Well, we actually don't even have interns. I wish we did. So it's a group effort. We have a trial tracking team because, as you know, Nick, what we do is broadcast trials. That's primarily what the network was set up to do. But fortunately, with shows like mine and like my colleague Vinny Palatin, whose primetime show and the morning show, we have time for some segments, where we can cover, true crime cases that are developing. And we've done more of this as the years have gone on. on. And so it could be perhaps one of Court TV's local affiliates were owned by Scripps Corporation. And so we have local stations all over the country. We pay attention to the reporting. If we hear of a missing persons case or a true crime case that we think is going to be something that's possibly going to develop and we can follow through the progression of a trial, then we'll take interest. We'll see things on social media. Colleagues of ours, just other members of the true crime community may alert us to something. Sometimes I'll have colleagues who will send me an email or send me a tweet and say, hey, have you seen this? And so if I see it, I'll mention it to my team. If my teammates see it, I want them to mention it to me. We all kind of rely upon each other to try to do the best that we can. And any time that we can share a child's picture and get a name and a face out there, the more shares it can get, then the more chances we have in possibly saving that child.
I know that you weren't at Court TV in 2013 when this had happened, but I guess had you have been, and it obviously became a national story, how does Charles come in with the cases like, let's say, Melody Buzzard, or you have Sebastian Rogers, and a ton of cases that can go all day? It's not just rescuing. It's not just the rescue, right? It's the way he presented it, I guess, is a way to put it, but
as the anniversary of the miracle in Cleveland approaches, I sat down with Charles today to talk about instant fame, his life today, and that night 5 years ago.
If I could do it all over again, the only thing I would do is not have Amanda notify the police. I'd have notified a few of my friends. We'd have taken Amanda, Michelle, and Gina to the hospital. You could have called the police from there.
Well, why?
Because me and my homies would have been in Ariel's house waiting on him to get back from McDonald's. And I'm going to chain you up in your basement. And I'm going to rape and beat the hell out you. So it worked out for all of us. Now, didn't it? Them girls are fine. I'm right here. He met his demise.
You went from 1 minute being this guy walking down the street to being this person that everybody in the world knew. What is that like to go from this to that suddenly?
I have the intelligence that's high enough to block that stupidity out. That's what it's like. It's like nothing.
It didn't faze you.
And it still doesn't. Remember what we have in this interview. I didn't come to Channel 3.
No, but
Channel 3 came to me.
Yeah. People want to know what you're doing. People want to know what Charles Ramsey's doing and how's he doing.
So I'm doing pretty damn good.
Yeah. What do people say to you when they see you on the street these days?
That's that dude that say them girls. That's exactly what you better say. You can call me Chucky, Charles, Mr. Rand, whatever. From here until the good Lord decides to zap your, not you, all of us off this planet. That's the dude that saved them girls.
People like Charles, when they go viral, people made fun of him. They can do all they want. He rescued 3 women and a child. When it comes to those cases, had you been around at Court TV then, how would he have come up to you? I know the Fox interview obviously went viral. Why do those viral clips come to you, and what value do they bring, not just to the case they're on, cases like Melody Buzzard or Sebastian?
Sure, Nick. So first of all, Charles, you are a hero. I have so much admiration for you, and we need more people like Charles in the world who are willing to be aware that somebody else might be in trouble and then go and find out how they can help. All too often people are so concerned about themselves, and we live in kind of a day and age where people think, oh, it's not my problem. I hear something, not my business. I don't want to get involved, all of those things. He didn't have to get involved that day. He didn't have to see what the banging was. He didn't have to, follow up on what the screaming was. It wasn't his responsibility. Yet he was such a good Samaritan and did it and went ahead and saved 4 lives that day. Amanda Berry and her child, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight, all of them. It's remarkable what he did. And at the time, Court TV had gone away when this happened, and Court TV had a break. And so we hadn't relaunched them. We didn't relaunch till 2019, but I was a prosecutor then in 2013. I was in the district attorney's office. And someone like Charles is a dream for prosecutors. He's an eyewitness. He's the hero. He's somebody, who went in and did the hard thing. In life, it's easy to, ignore and go about your business. He did the thing that was tough. And a lot of people may not have had the courage to do, kicking in that door, not knowing what he was going to find behind it, not knowing if somebody was going to come and attack him from behind for doing it, not knowing what the consequences were, just doing the right thing. And so he would have become a central figure to the case. I know that Ariel Castro, killed himself, big coward that he was. But in order to prosecute a predator like that, Charles would be, what's called an eyewitness and an outcry witness, because Amanda Berry was literally crying out to him in the moment, and everything that she said to him, embracing him, hugging him, the terror in her voice, in her face that he was able to see.
It was the moment my sister and I thought about for almost 6 years.
Can I say thank you very much? Please.
What were you? How are you doing?
I'm blessed. Thank
I was finally face to face with the man I remember seeing through that broken door, my personal hero.
So when they say, dude, you a hero, man, good looking now, I say, man, you need to shut up.
Really?
And realize who the hero is. The hero is that girl that got taken from her family and still fought, didn't give up. She reversed the game. This is how it's gonna be. Man, I can deal with this because I know God gonna come get me sooner or later. So I played a game which was smart. That was smart as hell what you did. Then I don't care how many years it took. You knew how to play it. That's what makes you the hero.
I was so nervous. I was so nervous, and I don't know why, but I think it's just coming back from everything, and I haven't faced it yet, you know? But it's surreal to sit here and see you. That's when we got right into it. May 6th, 2013. The moment he heard me pounding on that door.
Bam, bam, bam. Now that got my attention. I said, it's a white girl over there, man. Y'all not gonna help her? I got a Big Mac in my hand, so I was on my way to get you, but I got a Big Mac in my hand. So give me time.
So when that happened, I just remember I think maybe it was the adrenaline and everything that was just going on. I kind of remember everything, but everything was happening so fast. So, from your point of view, what was going on? I remember the door was locked. I couldn't get out. And it was probably so simple. The body was like...
No.
Because I felt like maybe if I was
No.
I didn't know it was going
No.
Okay.
I'm telling you, man.
It wasn't?
This is me.
Okay.
You weren't getting out that door.
Okay.
That man, he was that's the reason why I had to do what I had to do at the bottom. If it was that simple, you wouldn't have needed nobody's help, babe. To pull that off and to keep it going that long, you're not an idiot.
How does that happen with the neighbors on the street? I know his uncle lived in that house.
Let me tell you something. I say that house right there next door to me, I say it's boarded up and it's 100 degrees outside and there's no air conditioning unit or central air in the back. How did he survive in that house? Well, that's why, he playing the band and he probably be practicing in there and he don't like to disturb nobody, so he got the windows boarded up to muffle the sound. He's in the band, he got the windows boarded up, he don't muffle it. Okay, I'll let you slide with that. That was one time. 5 o'clock in the morning when he come out, he always saw me. Sir, I was getting on his nerve and didn't know I was getting on his nerve. Yeah. I said, what's up, dude? He said, I got some home-cooked food here. I said, yeah? I said, I got a burger and some fries. He said, I tell you what, you want to trade? I said, yeah. I gave him Chris burger. He gave me the food. I ate it. It was good. Fine. A few days later, he goes, how was that food? I go, man, that was all right, man. You know how to cook. That's all right. We went on about our business. I was a guinea pig. That's how smart Ariel was. Since he didn't trust nobody's cooking, just in case y'all got smart and put some rat poison in it. Now, if I dropped dead, he'd have known. One of you girls tried to kill me.
Was he rude to you when he would talk to you? Or did he have an attitude? Did he seem like, he didn't want anything to do with you? He was just had an attitude all the time?
No, he played me like a fiddle. Me and him didn't talk so much because of my music. This is what I would do.
I know, I used to hear all that.
That was me.
I know.
Now check me out.
I was excited because it was rap.
It's right. All day, you know that's me.
So I know she would cry and he would have to turn the music up at 2 or 3 in the morning. Did you ever hear a baby cry?
And when I was telling people that, since I had no proof, I say, man, I'm telling you, man, I'm hearing a child cry. I'm hearing, and I ain't just hearing no baby. I'm hearing grown folks. This is what I should do, right? My paranoia got the best of me. So when I come home at night, I wouldn't go straight in the house because I didn't know if Ariel was watching me or not. So we're gonna play this cat and mouse game. Let's get it on.
Can you tell me the first time? I'm sorry. This is something I wanted to know. The first time that you saw Jocelyn in the backyard, how was she small? What did he say? Was it that it was his granddaughter?
Hey, you said a little girl. That's his granddaughter, you say? Leave that alone. Look out there one day, Jocelyn is playing with, you had a dog. Little dirty white little poodle, whatever it was. Cute, it's a dog. That's Jocelyn's dog in my head. Ariel is doing some mechanical work, whatever he's doing something with them vehicles. Jocelyn is having the time of her life. They in the backyard for hours until it's time for me to go to work. So that's normal, that's common, that's his granddaughter, cool. I can deal with that because I was sent to that street to get y'all out that house. Ain't no other way to look at that.
I believe it because I was there for 10 years. And I always when would I come home?
You understand, baby?
And if it wasn't for you, I don't know if I would still be home. So
you don't have to worry about nothing. I told you, I got you.
But thank you. Thank you for coming that day.
You don't think, babe. I'm a beast.
Well, I know, but a lot of people, as we both know, wouldn't have helped. So then we lined it back up. Dead giveaway. Have
you heard that?
I have.
What'd you think about that? Let me tell you about that.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran to a black man's arms.
Yeah, give it away. Yeah, give it away.
Listen, that video got, I think, what was it, 32 million views?
He asked me a question. How did you know something was wrong? And I said, when a pretty little white girl runs to a black man's arms, something's wrong. All I said, and they ran with that. I say, is a girl in that house?
I have something for you. It's nothing crazy. It's just a little token of my love. It's just a little token of my love because
I love it.
It's a symbol of, when you open it, you'll see. It's nothing space, just rip it open. All the way at the bottom.
All the way at the bottom.
I'm trying to prick you.
No, this is my love.
It's a little token of the time. It's a kind of like the time you gave back to me, my life. But you changed the time of my life, and I just want you.
This is some LeBron James stuff right here, baby.
Every time you look at it, you think of us and what you did that day. You're my hero. So I just want to say,
oh, I love you. Yeah.
All of that would be so key, for a jury. And then for members of the media, I can remember seeing the interviews of Charles on TV at the time thinking like, my man, like we need more people like him who are willing to get in there and help somebody else. And I think it's all about awareness, being situationally aware, knowing your surroundings, being aware that trouble can be anywhere, even in the home next door where you don't suspect it. You just never know. And so, God bless you, Charles, for that great work. And I have met.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to wrap your head around it because it's something that can only be done if it happens. It's not something that you can say, I'm going to go out and do this. And you don't know if somebody's going to do it until it happens. And speaking of that, I guess, only if you know the answer, I guess, Julie, because it's a legal question. Say there is somebody, like there was in this case, I don't know for the audience, you guys will see it later on. Another guy tried to claim credit for the rescue. Amanda Berry herself said in her book and in an interview with Charles that he's the one that kicked the door in, the other guy left. It's crazy. So say a network airs an interview with somebody who claims that the real hero is a liar. Is that a risk to the network? And is that a risk to people like future Charles that might want to come forward? Because now it looks like a bitter neighborhood battle over who's the hero, and the media should be able to kind of figure out rather quickly who kicked the door in.
Because they interviewed him. They say, what did you do? He said, I do nothing. And then 24 hours later, I the hero. I was going to beat the Spanish out of him so bad he was going to be able to talk the King's English to perfection.
Saying that he helped Amanda Berry by kicking down the door. That gentleman we spoke to yesterday, he doesn't speak English, only Spanish, and we spoke to him again tonight. I asked Angel Cordero if he thought he was a hero, and the 32-year-old simply said, with a smile on his face and in Spanish,
La ayudé y fui primero.
I helped her, and I was first. You see, Monday afternoon, it wasn't just Charles Ramsey to the rescue. And going back, you hear it in his interview.
Ramsey arrived after she was outside with the girl.
The girl, Amanda Berry's daughter.
But the truth, who arrived here, who crossed the street, who broke the door, it was me.
Wintel Tejeda, who lives across the street from where the rescue happened, said Ramsey and others did also help. And when Amanda Berry came out, she was given a phone.
She was able to call police from my house.
But this is the interview making headwaves across the world.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here.
The problem is we weren't on camera.
Joking, both say they're not jealous.
I did what had to be done.
So, what are the risks?
I would think the biggest risk would be to the person who's lying, reputation. If somebody's going to come, and try to tell the world that they were the hero in a situation where they weren't, I would think they would just have such embarrassment and egg all over their face. They would just look bad. So this person did come forward. I'm unaware. I just remember seeing you, Charles, and it's tough when there's a lot of chaos. I know that was a very chaotic scene from what I understand. People started kind of flooding the road and a lot of police, and it was tough. So,
and I was like, he don't speak English. I left my fucking hoodie over his goddamn house. Angel, tell him we're friends. Tell him that you don't speak English. I ought to turn you into a goddamn human pinata and open your ass up, boy.
Man. Oh, you're fine. It's all fine. We're on YouTube. But again, it's the value that Charles brings to those cases. It's that personality. It's that stand your ground no matter what. Julie, again, it's an honor to have you as a guest here, and it was really cool.
It's great to be with you, Nick.
When you say you were a prosecutor, were you out in Pittsburgh at the time, like in that area?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of close to Cleveland, right? I mean, about...
Yeah. I did most of my schooling in northeastern Ohio, and so I'm certainly familiar with Cleveland, and I have a lot of great friends there. And it rocked Cleveland. I mean, just because everybody knew those girls' names, their faces, I mean, because of all of the news coverage of, Amanda Berry being missing. She even said when she's on the 911 call, she's like, I'm Amanda Berry. You remember seeing me on the news? Like, something to that effect. She says to the dispatcher. And so, fortunately, Cleveland media had kept the story going. And now, thank goodness, those women are thriving. They didn't just
Amen to
survive.
that.
Now they're thriving. Thank goodness for that.
100%.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, Julie. We're going to cut to a break. But again, it was an honor to have you on.
I appreciate it.
And when we get back, guys, we're going to hop straight into the Cleveland 3 and a little bit more.
These girls on my day off, I work at Hodges restaurant.
What happened?
I went to McDonald's and I'm at home and I hear this, help, let me out. And this girl screaming. Now, we don't have that on this street because everybody on this street knows each other. So when you hear something like that, you come and running to see what's going on. I thought it was a kid got attacked by a pit bull. And I looked at that girl. I said, you look familiar. And I'm prying the door open and she's trying to get out. And soon as she got out, she says, my name is Amanda Berry. Call the police. I called the police and went through, some stuff with them. You wouldn't believe that. They thought I was lying.
Excuse me, Charles, can you start from the beginning and tell us exactly what happened?
Come on,
if you don't mind.
we're here with you.
I mean, your story.
Y'all want me to tell this story without Gatorade or nothing?
Right, about an hour to an hour and a half ago. Tell me what happened. Knock at your door. Start from there if you don't mind.
I went to McDonald's, came home. I'm eating McDonald's. I hear this screaming. So I see one of my neighbors across the street leave his house and run toward my house. But he doesn't come to my house. He goes next door. So I go to the door to see what he's looking at. And this girl is kicking the door and screaming. And so I go over there with my Big Mac.
What about Gina DeJesus?
And she was up there too. Now, she didn't come out with Amanda. The police went in the house and got them. You know what I mean? I guess they were, I don't know, sleep or something. Who knows what's going on in the house? You know what I mean?
Walk me through again what happened this afternoon. You heard screaming.
I heard screaming. I meet my McDonald's. I come outside. I see this girl going nuts trying to get out of her house. And she says, help me get out. I've been in here a long time. So, I figured it's a domestic violence dispute. So I open the door and we can't get in that way because how the door is, it's so much that the body can't fit through, only your hand. So we kick the bottom. And she comes out with the little girl and she says, call 911. My name was Amanda Berry.
Did you know who that was when she said that?
When she told me, it didn't register until I got to call 911. And I'm like, I'm calling the 911 for Amanda Berry. I thought this girl was dead. You know what I mean? And she got on the phone and she said, yes, this is me. And the detective, Cook, right here, Detective Gregory Cook says, Charles, do you know who you rescued? I said.
Now, and when did you see Gina?
About 5 minutes after the police got here. See, that girl Amanda told the police, I ain't just the only ones. It's some more girls up in that house. So they went up there, 30, 40 deep. And when they came out, was just astonishing because I thought they were going to come up with nothing.
How long have you lived here?
I've been here a year.
Okay.
You see where I'm coming from? I barbecue with this dude. We eat ribs and whatnot and listen to salsa music. You see where I'm coming from?
And you had no indication that there was anything going on?
Bro, not a clue that girl was in that house or anybody else was in there against their will. Because how he is he just comes out to his backyard, plays with the dogs, tinker with his cars and motorcycles. He goes back in the house. So he's somebody that you look away because he's not doing nothing but the average stuff. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's nothing exciting about him. Well, until the day.
What was the reaction on the girls' faces? I can't imagine to see the sunlight to be around.
Bro, I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here. Dead giveaway.
Charles, thank you very much.
Dead giveaway.
Thank you very much for your time. And
either she homeless or she got problems. That's the only reason why she run to a black man.
Charles, thank you for being there, man. Charles Ramsey, a neighbor, heard the screaming, took action, went and did what he needed to do.
I saw that girl, that woman, and she was in the door, and she said, help me get out. So I'm looking at her, what's wrong with you? And she said, we've been in here for a long time. So I pried the door, and one of my friends held it, and she kicked the bottom of the door while she came in. I didn't know who she was. She said her last name was Berry. I figured that was familiar. We didn't think it was that Gina DeJesus or nothing like that. She thought kids or something, and then out they come. One after the other. And I said,
Get a two-shot interview or something.
Sorry.
So what happened? You saw her and what happened?
She just said, call the police. I've been kidnapped. I've been in here a long time, and this is his child. And that girl looked like she's about 9 years old. So you can do the math. He kidnapped her then. She had no baby. Now she got a baby now.
Who else is in there?
Those 4 kids. or people or whatever they were they pulled out of there.
Grabbed the little kid out.
Yeah.
Was Tina?
Yes.
What's this guy's name?
The dude that lives there, his name was Ariel.
Castro.
Castro, that's it.
Can you believe this after all? What's going through your mind right now?
Well,
Happy he got.
doing this sober is mind blowing.
What did you do?
Really?
What did you do? What did you do? What did you do?
I freaked out, honey. Yes, it's my cell phone that called 911. I'm waiting on them to call me back because they thought I was joking. When I called 911 and said I got a Amanda Berry on my street, the cop thought I was. He's like, sorry. He's like,
when you call 911.
He's like, you don't have that girl. I said, bro, this woman just came out the house and said she's Amanda Berry. Just send the police. So what she got on and take me through the preliminaries. And I told her what she had on.
Where's your cell phone? Show me the cell phone you called.
It's in my house. They won't let me back in the house. He told me don't go near the yellow tape.
Something hits the fan next door. You never know if Ariel Castro's little fan base that I heard about is lurking. We'll learn about them. Guys, we have Mr. E and J on with us as well. Guys, thank you so much for coming on.
Of course. Thank you for having us here.
Thank you for having me, Nick. Mr. Charles, it's an honor to be here with you tonight.
Absolutely.
Mr. E didn't catch on earlier. We had a little bit of a talk, so we'll see if he slips up and does it, and Charles will handle him.
Okay.
The reason why I can hear you is just that. So me and Harry, because we over here talking some shit that we had to put it on mute, right? So when you just said my name, I'm like, God damn it, Harry, hit that goddamn mute button. And then it didn't happen, Nick. You my dog, Nick. I love you like a brother, so we gonna stick with you. But I'm just letting you know what's going on our end. Every time we hit that goddamn mute button, it gets stuck. So that's why you see me like, God damn, here we go. God damn. Nick gonna think we got this shit off. He moved. I don't like looking like we broke niggas. I mean, we are, but nobody knows that. What I'm saying, we faking it until we making it. That's all. But we good now.
He is the man. So for those of you guys that don't know, Charles is very blunt and to the point, and there is no filter. That was the rules that I said. I said I don't want any filter. I want Charles as he is, as he comes. As a management
I asked you, Nick.
Yeah, they said, do you want? You asked if you wanted almost like a scripted version, a nice version, PGA. Or I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want Charles. I want Ramsey, the real one, the one that's pissed off about the Dominican, the one that doesn't want to hear about somebody else taking credit for what he did. He doesn't like to be called a hero, but there are heroic aspects to what he did. And at the end of the day, if anybody's entitled to money, it's 5 people. I said 4 earlier, but it's 5 because it's Jocelyn. She gets a small cut. But you have Amanda, Gina, Michelle, Jocelyn, and Charles. That's who they escaped because of themselves. They stayed alive. They fought. They I'm not used to cursing that much, so you'll get me used to it, Charles. They mind-effed the guy that kidnapped them and acted like they loved him. They even, I think, would make songs and stuff for him to try and get into his head. So they are the real heroes because they could have killed themselves easily, just like he did after 1 month. He's a coward. And if he was going to do that, man, it would have been better to have him in Charles's custody, like he said from the beginning. After they got him, they said, why can't you just give him to me? I'll take that as a reward. What? The first question, Charles, is that white T-shirt. Where do you have that? Did you save that?
You know what? Let me tell you about that, Nick, because later on I found out. See, let me tell you how fame works, especially if you are not looking for it. See where I'm coming from? So you got people out here that they're actors. So they make a move and they get paid. They're supposed to. They act, they get their job, right? Okay, right. I got thrown into something. So I did what I had to do and I handled it. Then later on in life, as you go on, you talk to certain people, you talk to this people, you talk to that person. They're like, hey, you know what you should have done? And I'm like, yeah, I don't know what I should have done. They said, that white T-shirt you had on when you did the first interview, the one that went viral, the one that had the whole world looking at you like, look at this nigger on my goddamn team. Look at this son of a bitch. Hey, look at this shit, right? That one, if you had saved that right now, bro, you could live off that because that's called collector's item. And you ain't got that shirt no more because when you got the little money
You told them to keep the reward money and you gave that money to the girl. And then you had your little side hustle going on and shit because you can't sell drugs no more. So I had to give away everything. I had damn near a fucking kilo, right? And I had to give that away, right? Because we can't do that no more. So that son of a bitch got it for dirt fucking cheap, right? So I mean dirt fucking cheap. And I mean so dirt cheap.
So he made off like a bandit because of this as well.
So I started buying clothes and doing my thing and going on with life. But if I had that shirt right now, bro, I swear to God, I give it to you, Nick, just for bringing it up, bro.
Nobody brought it up? Has anybody brought that up in a while or no?
No.
How about this? And let's be honest. So after, I wouldn't know. Right now we are covering a missing child out of Tennessee named Sebastian Rogers. And a lot of the country doesn't know who he is. And there's also a little girl named Summer Wells who went missing, and a lot of the country doesn't know who she is either. So that said, I would be in the same position if I'm calling 911 and I was in your shoes and somebody climbed out and then a baby comes out and you think, wait a second, I'm not going to help you kidnap no baby. That's Ariel's granddaughter, you thought. And it wasn't. It was his daughter, and you know what that means. I learned, so it's almost... If you can go back in time, and I know you can't, if you can go back in time, what would you have done differently once you heard the bang bang and you went over there and the guy said, I can't help you, and he ran away? Do you ever dream about that the way Amanda dreamed about the day she would be rescued? Do you ever have like a dream like where it was a different outcome, where you have a whole different outcome?
Two scenarios. One scenario could have been, as I'm trying to get Amanda out that house, Ariel comes home and he puts me and her in the basement. And now I'm tied to a pole and I'm getting raped. See, it could have went totally that way too, Nick. Let's not forget now. Right?
I don't know if he's able to take you on. I've seen the guy.
Bro,
you're from Richmond Heights, I heard.
Yes, I am.
So, I mean, you can take Ariel Castro. I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I am. But like Julie said before she got off air, what I did, who's to say somebody wasn't on the other side of the door to bring my black ass over here? You see where I'm coming from? Well, I just took it upon myself that she was by herself. That could have went a whole nother way, bro. You know what I mean? So I sure. Thank God it didn't. And what I would have done different is call the police and have them take the girls out. But this is the only thing I would have done different is not tell Amanda. Well, I'd have told Amanda, don't tell the police where Ariel is. See, that's
or even the house number. Don't tell them what address you're at. Just say I'm on this street right here. And
see what I'm saying? And then let them take care of Amanda, and then I go up to McDonald's and I get Ariel Castro, and he don't get arrested, and he don't go through due diligence, and there is no judge, and there ain't wasting taxpayers' money. It's just me taking his ass to Puerto Rico and watch them take a machete, and they're gonna cut his ass up and down. For everything you did to those girls, that's a cut.
Yeah.
In a perfect world.
Yeah, in a perfect world.
It didn't work. Somebody intervened and got my fucking way and wanted me to let the police do their job. So, well, there it is.
And he's gone, I guess. Now, when you called 911, how long did it take for you to Google the name Amanda Berry? Or did it ring a bell? For me, it wouldn't have rung a bell. I didn't know anything about her. I looked into you. So did you Google her at all or nah? Did it ring a bell?
This is what happened. When the cops got there, they were focused on me because I was belligerent. So the only thing on their mind was, hurry up and get to Seymour, arrest that big mouth nigga, because his black ass is going to jail today, right? So that's the only thing they were focused on was me. So when they got there, I was skipping up and down the street, and they were just looking at me confused, like, what are you doing? I'm like, you have no idea who the fuck I just found. You have no idea, and I'm doing that with my little dance, right? Because what I did was I went up the street,
This is before the news people got there. I went up the street to some of the neighbors. I said, hey, you see that white girl right there? They say, yeah, what about her? I say, she was in Ariel's house, and she been in there 12 years. And they look, scratching their head, and they're like, you say she was in Ariel's house? I go, yeah. So they went down the street and they talked to her. And they go, what's your name? And she told them. Then they came back to me and they go, you know her mother was on the TV show? And the psychic told her mother that your daughter is dead. Stop looking for her. And I was like, that's that girl? And that was Amanda Berry. So that's how I found out who it was. I didn't have to Google it. It was just that people. Well, I can say this now. That street is not what you think. Because the only reason why it got so much exposure is because it had a loudmouth nigga on it, myself. So you're not gonna tell me you didn't know those girls were in that house when all the houses are so close together. That ain't the suburbs. See, I'm from Richmond Heights. If anybody knows about Richmond Heights, right? It's called Richmond Heights for a fucking reason. And if you're one of those chosen humans that's lucky enough to be, raised in that neighborhood, then you know what I'm talking about. It's the creme de la creme of the suburbs of Cleveland, Ohio. I was had the honor of our good Lord. He wanted me to be there and not the ghetto, even though you got them ghetto mentalities, which you can't figure out, and I can't either. But I guess that's in our DNA. So whatever. But the point is, right? I come from way up there. So if something happens up there in Beverly Hills, and the neighbors don't know about it, that makes sense. The houses are so big, and we got so much land in between us. How would you know? That ain't the case on Seymour. I can take a piss in my bathroom and have to close the blinds because I can see, inside the next house. But nobody knew those girls were in that basement.
It makes you wonder. It makes you wonder if the guy who'd you get the house from? Maybe he found out what was going on and he said, I'm out. Because, that's a little bit weird. He was there a lot longer than 1 year. And I think I heard you were telling people that I hear a kid cry. I hear adults in that house. But you thought they were going to say, this guy's nuts. Send him to the mental hospital before
It wasn't about, I thought that. They did say that. That's why I got to the point where I was like, motherfucker, don't tell me because I didn't eat 100 edibles and I got 50,000 milligrams of THC in my system that I'm hearing shit. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
I was right. I heard some shit, and here we are today. So it couldn't have been the fucking edibles, right? I wasn't tripping on acid, right?
It wasn't.
Yeah. I took a fucking mushroom bar and was like, is somebody in that house? Wait, is somebody over here? Is somebody behind the green screen? No, motherfucker. We don't roll like that.
So speaking of that, Mr. E, I know that you've been covering Sebastian Rogers almost from the outset, and it's a case that has nothing as far as evidence leading in any direction. For Charles, he found 3 girls that one of whom her parents weren't looking for her, I don't believe. And then you have the other 2.
At all.
And then you have the other 2 that they're looking for. And ironically, the daughter of the perpetrator, it's her best friend that he kidnaps after she asks if she can sleep at the house. Her mom says no. Ariel takes her. They don't think to search that house. I hear the FBI went once, and then I hear about CPS went a few times, I think, and they couldn't get in, so they left.
Yeah, they did what I would do.
What?
Hey, you got anybody in there? No. All right.
Yeah.
So what are the I guess let's start hard at the beginning with Sebastian, because I want to pick Charles's mind on cases like that where there is nothing, and I mean nothing there. Right.
Yeah, very little actual evidence that the public has seen. We know he went home after dinner and has been missing ever since. Not caught on video in the neighborhood, and he disappeared in a upper middle class neighborhood. His home was right in the center of that neighborhood, surrounded by security cameras, all kinds of Ring doorbells, and not a trace, not a sighting, at least not a credible one since. And it's become a huge mystery for everybody looking into this, wondering, did he wander off into the woods? Was he abducted? Was there some kind of foul play? We really just don't have a lot of great answers. And he has autism, so that's a different part of the equation there. So that's why a lot of folks looked at, could he have
Not
made
the high
it off?
function, or I mean, he's high functioning, right?
He is, but that initially, when that story first, because we're a local, that was the big story. The big part of the story was the autism, because I was on those initial flyers that went out, and so I think that this search at first was all over the woods and the miles around, thinking this might be one of those situations you see all the time, where a special needs kid, and particularly children with autism, often will just elope and disappear out into the woods, and they often end up in creeks and rivers and that kind of thing. I have a child with autism, so I'm that those stories are always on my radar. But he never turned up, and all these dogs and drones and searchers never found him, and really found a trace of him. So it's been a puzzling mystery that we've spent a lot of time trying to figure out what could have happened to him. And we're hopeful that he'll have a outcome similar to this Amanda Berry, where maybe he's out there somewhere and will be found.
Because there are, I think, right, Mr. E, are there more? I don't know I don't know details on it, but weren't there more than, or in Jay too, if you know, there was more than one case of a missing teen that around that same time period, and that's what's weird. I think it almost reminds me of the Cleveland Three. If it's three, I don't know how many it is. I might be wrong completely. If somebody wants to correct me on that.
I know someone was talking about this before. I don't remember. I don't remember who those children might have been. The next week, Riley Strain disappeared, and that was a huge national story. He disappeared in Nashville, and I remember people making the connection: what's going on in Middle Tennessee? Thinking maybe those two were connected. They weren't ultimately, but that was. I know that the Riley Strain story, because it was such a national story, was on Nancy Grace and everything, that actually got Sebastian a little attention as well, because all these news crews and everyone were coming to Nashville to cover that story, and kind of picked up on the Sebastian story just in a nearby county. So people were wondering what was the connection there. But those stories don't appear to be connected at all.
But we don't. But I guess at the end of the day, Charles, what do you have to say when a kid, in general, from what you just heard, you've got a kid that has nothing, no trace of anything, and there's also a Jay. You want to hop in? You've covered Summer Wells from the outset. I think that was your first case, if I'm not. So, explain to Charles what happened to Summer, and from there, I think he'll understand what we're dealing with.
Absolutely. Well, Summer was reported missing June 15th of 2021. Now, in contrast to Sebastian, who is in an upper middle class neighborhood, Summer's from a kind of a risky environment, a little bit filled with rugs around her. I don't know if you want me to say the word, Nick. Drugs and partying and all sorts of things going on. She has three brothers. And what happened was she went and spent a really fun day with her mother and her grandmother. The boys stayed home. So Summer and her mother dropped grandma off at the emergency room. Apparently they had an appointment for her knee. And then when they were waiting, they went and picked up, while they were waiting for grandma's appointment, they went and picked up a 14-year-old boy who was Summer's buddy and Candace is the mother. They allegedly went swimming that day. And she took videos of her swimming, took videos of her on the way home, and photos of her asleep on some milk jugs. And then when she got home, she had indicated that she planted flowers with Summer and her mom. And then Summer went in to play with her in the house with her brothers, went in the basement, and poof, she was gone. Now, grandma says she wasn't planting flowers, that she got out of the truck and went right into her trailer to take a rest because of her knee, and Summer was still in the truck at the time. Now, they had a plethora of dogs on their property. I think it was like I don't want to throw out a number, but a lot of them running and barking. And you can see in interviews when people approach the property, the dogs are going after. That day, the dogs were not around, and their home is at the top of a hill. So somehow, some way, mom thinks someone came in, and we don't know. We don't know what happened. Someone came in and climbed that hill, no dogs barking. And with mom there, grandma there, and the three brothers, took Summer, and no trace of her since. And she actually, they did an endangered child alert, after midnight on the 15th. Then they did an Amber Alert. But much like Summer, we're not seeing a lot of momentum until quite recently for Summer. There has been a search near her home. And, we have to remember, just because time goes by doesn't mean they're far away. Time doesn't measure distance when we have a missing child. And so right now, they conducted a search about 10 days ago for Summer, 9.5 miles from her home, based on a tip.
And the reason I'm laughing is because this sounds exactly like the Cleveland Three, where the police, there's a lot of professional police work taking a back seat in these cases, in my opinion. It's just, it's a lot of it flies in the face of reality. It sounds like Hollywood tried to make a movie and air it on Disney Channel, but it doesn't add up when you think about it. Because look, at the beginning of Michelle Knight went missing, and Charles, how many people were looking for her? Who even knew she was missing? I think the police had to figure out who is this when they found her.
They said there's a third one in there, right? They didn't even know.
She was the first one he grabbed. And she told him, I am not a kid. I'm 17. She's so short. So at the time, he thought she was 10. And she tried to tell him then, I'm damn near a grown-ass lady. But what you're looking for, I can kindly give you, because I'm from fucking Florida, and I'm homeless anyway. So she was even trying to be nice to this prick. And he still didn't do it. You still wouldn't took Michelle, Gina and Amanda. And you had Michelle first. You didn't need the other two. She was willing to be your wife. What more do you want? I don't get it, bro. I don't get it.
Well, and that's kind of reminiscent of Summer's case too, because Michelle was kind of known as the unknown victim. And there's
exactly.
And that's kind of, in my opinion, that's kind of, in my opinion, what it in a way is for Summer Wells, because no one's out there screaming from the rooftops for her. YouTube is, social media is, but we need that. They need that lifeline, because like Michelle, it devastated her to watch the other girls see their parents every year on the anniversaries and see them passing out flyers. But it really traumatized Michelle not to see anyone out there for her. And we just need to remember, no matter how much time, you got to be their voice in their lifeline, because they knew people were fighting for them. Michelle didn't know that.
Exactly.
Nobody was, I don't think. And it's sickening. It's very sickening that in America, the land of free and all of that stuff, the nonsense, that you can lose 3 women or anybody. You can lose people and can't figure out where they are. You have all of this tech. You have everything under the sun. And it took a dude with a Big Mac and an angry, at that interrupted his lunch with the Big Mac, and a crowd of people staring. Probably, I'm sure one day it'll surface, because they don't want to do it now. They'll be looked at as very bad, but I'm sure somebody took a video of Charles rescuing them because they don't want to help. They'd rather film in today's day. I feel like that is something that seeps heavily into every industry, whether it's police work sometimes, whether it's citizenship. There is just, it's unfathomable, right? Charles, if you were on that block for 1 year, had it been another year, I think you would have caught on to a lot more if Amanda wasn't banging on the door. Correct me if I'm wrong. You weren't scared of Ariel Castro. I think that you actually wanted to make it a point to hop out on him a few times, right? At 5 a.m., you would watch him.
This is the way I think, Nick.
and this is the way I move, and this is my mentality. I am Leonidas from the movie 300. And you remember that scene in that movie when he asked that dude, he was like, what's your profession? He's like, I'm a carpenter. He's like, yeah. He's like, you over there, what's your profession? He's like, I'm an architect. He's like, yeah. Spartans, what is your profession? Fight, fight, fight. You understand?
Yeah. 100%. 100%. And I mean, like, if it were your, I mean, I don't know your personal life, but if you have a daughter or if you don't have a daughter, Charles. But,
yeah, she goes to Miami College right now.
There you go. Congratulations.
See, when they gave me the reward money, I didn't want to be a deadbeat dad. So I sent it down there, but she don't get it unless she graduates. And it was a nice, substantial amount of money. So, you know, I've been hoping that she flunks out so it can come back this way because we can just open up.
Or she becomes like a surgeon or something and hooks you up. You know,
the reality of it is she'll be a stripper. So anyway, come on.
In today's day, I guess you never know. I mean, it is what it is. But say somebody, all right, say you were, say 2003 comes back, or yeah, let's go before the kidnap. Yeah, 2002, I think, whenever Amanda was kidnapped. If that was your daughter, you would have been, I assume, looking. Would you have gone looking around, or would you have Michelle Knighted the situation? Because I think to this day, Michelle doesn't speak to her parents, and she shouldn't for what they've done or didn't do. I think it's disgusting. Right. You know.
To be honest, if that was my kid, I'd have made your God mad because I'd have burned this motherfucker to the ground.
Yeah.
So I'd have got my daughter back, or I'd have taken a lot of daughters away from this planet. Either way, right? I'm asleep like a baby tonight.
Exactly. I mean, that's just because whenever people go missing and there's no trace, they jump to the last person seen with them. And I don't know if that happened in the Michelle Knight situation. I don't know if the parents ever got blamed for. I don't think they did because nobody knew she wasn't like, they didn't care. It was bizarre. And that's what's sick about how the system operates. How do you just not do anything? And then Ariel's defense was that nobody looked for that girl. Why do you even want me to get a sentence for? That's not a defense to kidnapping, raping, and all but murdering them. They're dead girls walking under his custody, disgusting pig. The fact that he can hide and do it for a year with you next door, and I know that you're not a neighbor that just sits back and doesn't watch if he sees something weird going on, you know? So there were times when I'm sure he caught your attention, and it wasn't enough to bring up, though, this guy ain't let alone 3 women, 1 woman, you know? So, like, there's no way to prep for it. But I guess what that takes the viewer to is, do you not jump to conclusions with those 2 cases that you just heard about? You got Summer Wells, and you got Sebastian Rogers, and then you have Michelle Knight, who was kidnapped by somebody that nobody knew, and she was right next door to you for a year.
Hey, this is what Harry just checked, because he did. I don't know if you can see, but can you show? Can you see? Anyway, but this is what Harry said. Harry says, tell them to check out the local school bus drivers.
Oh, that's where Ariel was, right? You want to, because not everybody that's watching knows much about Ariel, bro. If you want to fill them in a little bit about this neighbor of yours and his routines as a bus driver, because that is weird. Didn't he get fired for bringing that bus to the house or something?
Didn't get fired. He got reprimanded because they told him, stop bringing the school bus to your house with children on it.
Ew.
Wow.
I think that's common sense, bro.
Let me paint the picture for you. Listen, I've always had a job, right? You know, I like everybody else. We pay taxes, but in the ghetto, right? You have the beauty. You do or you don't. I do. You got the beauty to sell drugs. right? So I'm going to work and I'm selling drugs. I'm going to work. See, I wasn't on Seymour selling Bibles, right? I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, none of that shit, right? In fact, you know what I mean? My mother is a Jehovah's Witness, and she got mad at me, and this is why. But I'll tell you about that later. But anyway, Ariel's thing was, as long as people see me around children, I got to be a decent person. I got to be okay, because no parent's going to have me around their kid. I'm a piece of shit, right? In fact, I'm a school bus driver. So even the Board of Education knows I'm a good dude, right? I got this job, right? Right.
Well, even Detective Simone, who had pulled him over years before at a gas station, he didn't have registration for his motorcycle. He wasn't, and the officer was saying, you know, I could bring you in for this. And he says, well, I drive.
What did he do? But what did he do? He let him walk the motorcycle down the street.
Yep. And the officer said, because he drove a school bus, he didn't want him to lose his job, so he let him take it home.
There you go, my love.
Wow. Ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That doesn't, to take a bus home, if that doesn't raise red flags, I don't know what does, you know? And were you around for that, or was that too early before you, Charles?
Hell no. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Nick. What do you think I was selling the drugs? It was his drugs I was selling. That's why I couldn't snitch on him. Where do you think I was getting the fucking drug from? And I got to the point where he was giving me so much, I was getting ready to quit working. Because trust me, I'd have been the first nigga on the planet with a convertible Tesla. Trust me. But anyway, it was his fucking drugs I was selling, bro. So that's why he played me like a fiddle.
That's what you meant by played me like a fiddle, because you couldn't be saying that at the time on national. You couldn't say that anywhere at the time. It's been 12, way beyond whatever the statute.
Limitations, he's all right.
Yeah, it's out the window. And on top of that, you got Ariel. For anything about that from back then, when he was alive from he killed himself the same year, I think, 2013.
Went to jail.
Man, a coward. What a coward, dude. Like, you're going to do that to
11 years, 10 years in captivity, and he can't even do a month.
School bus driver. He's very delicate, like you said, at trial. And that's what pisses me off, too, is the fact that he made it sound like he said it was consensual. He used that word. That's his word. What consent? He said they could have left at night because he was a heavy sleeper. They're chained up. You can't. The door doesn't open. He had to. If he didn't put the Big Mac down, it wouldn't have gotten open. Apparently, and tell me how that went down. Were you mid Big Mac? So, like, let's walk through that day. Looking back, now that it's a day that you can speak very unfiltered about, you know, down to what you just said. Wake up that morning. Is it stuck in your head, like, vividly that entire day? Or is it just bits and pieces?
Like it was yesterday. I got up with two things on my mind. Ready? Here we go. Two things. McDonald's and sell some fucking drugs before I go to work. Two things. So I went to McDonald's. That's one thing. I left McDonald's. I went and got some drugs to sell. Two things. I'm happy as hell, right? Because I had a agenda. And those two things is as far as it went, right? I mean, what black man's got a long to-do list? Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, I got my two things, right? A black man with a long to-do list.
It's a great line.
Yeah. That's like the other one I like. Shortest book ever written by man. Niggas I met while I was yachting. Don't own yachts. Hey, I'm on the road tonight. But anyway, I see you, Mr. E. You down there crying. And that's what I like.
I like it.
I like it. So anyway,
I like it.
I said, I'm going to go home. I'm going to eat this fucking Big Mac. And I'm going to get ready to try to make $200 and turn that into $1 million, if you know what I'm talking about, right? Just keep flipping. Just keep going. Like the housing or anything else. Just keep multiplying. Eventually you'll get there, right? So that's what's on my mind. And then next thing you know, here comes this loud boom, boom, boom shit. Now, the first thing on my mind was I just got this cocaine from just set me up because nobody knew what I just did. I just left McDonald's. I went and got this and went home. And now here comes this fucking banging on the door. When I get out of jail, I'm going to kill this nigga. So we all go through that, right? If you're a drug leader, that's the first thing you think. When I get out, I'm going to kill you. Right? Ain't that something? I committed a crime, got out and committed another crime. That's the black man's mentality. So anyway, here we go. She's doing that bang, bang, bang shit, right? And I'm like, fuck that. So I take the drugs, go upstairs, come back downstairs. I look out the window.
That bang, bang, bang noise is not in my door. It's over there. So I look out the window, and if she's going to bang, bang, still going. Now, what's that dude's name? The hero? The one that said I didn't? Angel Cordero. Oh, the Dominican. Oh, this is a good one. See, when I look out the door to see what all the noise is, Angel's already in front of Ariel Castro's house. He's already having a conversation with Amanda. I go to Angel and I say, hey, who's the white girl and why she making so much fucking noise, man? Because she said Ariel kidnapped her or some shit, but I don't want to get involved. Now, did you hear what I just said? I says I go over to the dude that don't speak English, and I spoke in English, and he answered in English. Fuck me. So,
Amazing.
So anyway, to bring you up to speed after that, right?
Yeah.
I go, you got the big letter, I put the drugs up, I got to come out and look like I'm doing something. You know, because I'm trying to see what's going on. So you can't say I was doing something bad because I just got McDonald's. So I'm using this as an excuse to come outside, right? The fucking Big Mac itself. And she's like, can you get me out of here? And I take a bite. I look at her. I say, honey, how'd you get in there? And she's like, you really going to fucking eat that in front of me? Like, all right, okay. So I put it down. I mean,
little did you know what you were dealing with.
Nick, if you ever interview Amanda, you ask her, you say, now, before he got you out of that house, how much of a dick was he to you? And she's going to tell you, oh, dude, I was a fucking prick, right? Because I didn't know what was going on.
You're like, who the hell is this lady?
Right. And you're making all this noise, and I'm trying to sell, that, and we don't, it's not a noisy street, right?
And you're getting it from that house, and that's your guy that has it. That's the boss. Oh, my God.
All right. So I go and I says, how'd you get in there? And she says, Ariel put me in here. I said, really? I said, so what you want from me? Why you doing all this banging shit? Because I want out. I go, well, where's he at? He at McDonald's. He went to get Jocelyn. I remember she's giving me all these names. And now I know who Jocelyn is. It's just fucking a granddaughter. Because I see him outside walking, playing with the little girl and going to the store and shit. So he's all, I see this. That registered. That makes sense. She goes, he went to McDonald's to get Jocelyn some food. I said, then what the fuck you want to get out of here for? Just wait till he come back and tell you to get out. She goes, do you not understand what I just said? He fucking kidnapped me. I want to get out this goddamn house. He won't help me. Now, who in the hell could he be? Or the Puerto Rican, or Dominican, or the Honduras, or Paraguay, or Guatemala, or I'm going to call fucking ICE on you, you motherfucker. That's what I'm going to do. And I don't give a fuck what your nationality is, right? That dude, right?
For those of you that don't know, this guy tried to take credit from Charles and say he rescued Amanda and the black guy's lying. Those were his exact words. And then used softer words and said that Mr. Ramsey's lying. They didn't say the black guy. But he ran with it. This guy goes on the news and he's like, I did it. And then he says he doesn't know any English and he's giving interviews in Spanish. Meanwhile, he's probably selling something for Ariel. And he didn't want to get involved because it's a little bit too late for that, bro. If she told you what she said to you, you're involved, right? I think at that point.
Well, I mean, it makes the story actually, when people say that he's a hero, I mean, it actually did take a little more guts than the initial story I thought. Because he, if he's a dealer in the neighborhood, it actually was kind of dangerous. You were connected to him. I also, are you also kind of saying that other people in the neighborhood likely knew these girls were there and had seen suspicious things, but because Castro was a local dealer, nobody wanted to say anything?
Are you familiar with the island of Puerto Rico? They're all like that. They keep their fucking mouth shut. You know why? Because they got this thing that's called loyalty.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? That shouldn't be a word that you should be taking to heart. Loyalty, what the fuck does that mean?
And that's what we're seeing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Charles.
Go ahead.
That's what we're seeing in some of our cases right now is, possibly people may know something, see something, hear something, but because they have a relationship with the person, it may, they don't want to get involved or, and that's tough because it's a life. It's a life. And, you don't preserve relationships and hide what you know. You step forward because that's called humanity. And so what you did, Charles, you knew him. You lived near him. You didn't know what was going down or how it was going to go down, but you went into action, and that is a hero.
Yeah, there was risk.
People would turn their head or say, "Oh no, I know that guy. He runs a school bus. It's all okay," and talk themselves out of it. But you didn't. You went into action, and there's 3 girls and a baby who are here today and thriving because of that. And I think
Miranda's own words. I think she said when you said, I mean, I remember it by heart now. You said every time somebody tells me I'm a hero, I say, shut up with that nonsense. And she says, but why? Because you are my personal hero. She used the word personal hero, but that's different from the whole story, you broke down that she's the real hero with the other girls because look, they survived. They look at Ariel Castro right now, right? Where's he at? Dead. Where are they at? Thriving. Amanda's on Fox covering missing persons cases because she explained how it impacted her when she was in captivity. I think all she had was a journal, a TV, and she got that stuff because she was the main one that he raped them all the time, but he wanted to make her into like a stolen housewife or something. And then use his neighbor to eat her food. So if he dies, that's messed up, bro. I mean, your neighbor's a piece of work. He really,
yes.
Imagine having that kind of a neighbor. I would be pissed too. Like the night when you found out that they took him in and you said, I wish I can have him. I mean, I see where you're coming from.
I did. And I'm surprised you didn't bring this up, Nick, because this is on TMZ. And I don't know what's the dude that runs TMZ?
Harvey.
Harvey. Yeah. Harvey's lucky I didn't take TMZ from him.
Well, this is really, really awesome. I mean, this is the guy everybody wants to talk to in the country. He is the hero of the day, Charles Ramsey, the guy who saved the women who were held captive in Cleveland, who was brave enough to actually do something where a lot of times people would just walk away. But Charles Ramsey stood up and did something that saved many lives. And he is with us now on TMZ Live. Charles, thanks for joining us.
Oh, I very appreciate it.
So, Charles, listen, before we get into the specifics, how has your life changed in the last 48 hours?
Oh, my God. It's just unbelievable. It's a blessing. I can see what Antoine Dotson's feeling at the moment.
So what specifically changed? I mean, I know you've had career opportunities. I know you're talking about managing a rap group. Talk to us.
Well, what have really changed, to be honest with you, is that the love and the support, like when you help others, how the community can come together and make a difference. The artist that I'm also managing, he was there at the scene. Mr. Angel was there, and those two guys encouraged me to do what I did.
So you now have you're a rap manager now.
Well, I'm pursuing in it, but yes, we can say that.
So look, there has been stuff that's come out over the last day or so that you've had some problems, you've had some convictions for domestic violence. You had a really interesting take on that in terms of how that impacted you and led you to the door of these victims. Why don't you explain?
Well, it was just a minor setback that the media wanted to bring in my presence. It was just an argument dispute that they trying to bring up into my future for helping women. If I was such a bad guy, I would have just turned away and walked away and minded my business. I only lived in that place 1 year. I could have ignored it like everybody else did for the last 10 years, but it was the man above that encouraged me to do what I did.
Do you think that these, I know you had talked to one of our producers earlier today and said that this actually may have made you a better person.
Oh, most definitely, because for the simple fact that my past experience and then the experience I'm experiencing now with the future, it definitely made me a better man because I learned from those mistakes. It also helped me not only protect and do for the community, but to protect and comfort our women as well.
Charles, if you could do it over again, I mean, obviously you wouldn't change what you did to help free those women, but would you do it anonymously? I mean, all the attention you've gotten, there's a good side and there's a bad side when you get in the spotlight like this. If you could do it over, would you do it anonymously and not be plastered over every single television in America?
What God's will shall be done. What's his plan, there's no way around it. So he already had my life planned out for me. Yeah, it takes some of us our early 50s, late 50s, close to our 60s to get the blessings that I'm receiving. But at the end of the day, I would not trade nothing, or I regret nothing I've done to help me become successful as I am today.
Okay, Charles, let's get to it now. Everybody wants to know about McDonald's. Okay, talk to me about McDonald's. Have they contacted you? Have they made you an offer? What's going on with McDonald's?
Well, I don't want to give away too much, but since TMZ always been supporting me through this whole process, and y'all know how stressful it can be. Yes, I have been getting a lot of offers, and like I said, I'm gonna stay humble, and I'm not gonna be too money hungry. But yes, they gave me offers. I have lifetime free McDonald's, even though I didn't get a chance to finish my Big Mac. They gonna give me a triple.
I got a question for Charles. Hey, Charles, man, you rock, dude. Hey, just a minute ago, you said it led you to a place where I think you said I could have ignored it like everyone else for the past 8 years. Did you mean to say that? It seems like it sounded like other people knew about it or something.
Well, like she said, she's been on the news for 10 years. So, yes, everybody that watched the news and the media, yes, I'm pretty sure. And
you mean about the girl's
me,
disappearance? Okay.
That's correct. And not even just only that, but for them to disappear as close as they was, and then for that guy to keep the secret how he kept it, I really believe that somebody else really knew what was going on, and I really cannot wait until the full investigation is completed.
Hi, I'm Monica Brooks from Roanoke, Virginia, and I had a question for Charles. I wanted to know, did he hung out with the kidnappers, and he never once heard them mention how they met the ladies or what exactly their connection was or anything like that?
Well, he was pretty much more of an associate. You know, he never was a buddy that I invite over or none of that, but he was like a neighbor. Like if you was my neighbor and I see you every day outside, I'm not going to force my way in your business, but what's done in the dark comes to the light, and that what was being done in the dark came to the light, and I did what I had to do to be that light bulb to make it bright for everyone to see.
So, Charles, we are going to let you go, but I got to say something to you. As somebody who's kind of in business and in branding, you have probably done more for the Big Mac than to all beef patties, lettuce sauce, pickles, cheese, whatever, onions on a sesame seed bun. Not since Ronald McDonald.
I appreciate it.
Hey, by the way, Charles, one other question. What do you think of, have you seen this YouTube video, the remix of your interview that's been set to music?
My neighbor got big testicles because we see this dude every day. We eat ribs with this dude, but we didn't find the clue that that girl was in that house. She said, please help me get out.
Oh, my God. Just whoever did that, please tell them thank you. That was the most creative thing I ever heard of since the Antoine Dodson. That was just beautiful.
Okay, by the way, you keep comparing yourself to Antoine Dodson. I think you're sort of downplaying what you did, and you deserve far more congratulations, really? I think, because, look, Antoine Dodson became a sensation because of something he said, but you actually did something. And we just wanted to say congratulations and thank you for everything that you've done.
I really appreciate it, but I'm just trying to be humble. I know I did the right thing, but I'm not trying to get credit from God's work, but I really appreciate it.
Hey, not too many Big Macs, you know, not more than one a day, okay? You can't let
well,
the guy
what you
get
think
fat
about creating a Big Mac song for McDonald's Lifetime?
Oh, I bet it's in the works, Charles. Okay, thanks a lot. Thanks, man.
I appreciate the support and thank y'all, and I'm going to continue to stay humble. Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you.
And either you can look into this now or you can wait till we go off air. But Harvey, if you looking at this, I think you a solid.
He's watching. That guy watches all this stuff. So whatever
I won't tell you what Harvey did, but I'll tell you kind of what he did. And this is why I gave him a pass and let Harvey slide. Harvey interviewed me, but it wasn't me. And when I found that out...
Wait. What do you mean? It was another black guy?
Yeah. That's why I said you can Google this and see the first Charles Ramsey, the TMZ interview. It wasn't me. They found I don't know where they found this nigga from, right? And they interviewed him and he did his thing and said blah, this, that, and the third. So when I found out, it's from Anderson Cooper. Because Anderson Cooper told me, he goes, when did you do an interview with Z? I go, to TMZ. He goes, that's what I thought. I knew that wasn't you. And he put on his phone, he's like, this dude. I go, motherfucker, you're right here with me. Does it look like me, Andy? You just look like me. He goes, so TMZ talked to this dude, and this dude is claiming that he's you, and blah, 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 blah. So I said, well, Anderson, do me a favor. I said, can you get a hold of TMZ for me and tell Harvey he got the wrong dude. I don't want no beef. I don't want no lawsuit. He just interviewed the wrong person, and we let it go.
That is such a mess up. That is such a... Wow. You can't confuse the Ramsey himself. I mean, the guy couldn't pull off the way you speak and carry yourself. It's not that hard to figure out.
I can do you one more solid. When I did what I did, my old man was in the Veterans VA hospital like this. See me? Mm-hmm. Right? He's like this. I'm fucking crippled, right? Okay. Do you know my mother says you need to get away from your father? I go, for what? He go, because he's trying to cash in on that hero shit. The world thinks he did it, and he's at the VA hospital signing autographs. I said, how? He's fucking crippled. So it ain't just Angel Cordero.
It's everybody.
It's not the black dude at TMZ interview. Oh, my old man, he's part of that shenanigans shit, too. You see, fame makes people fucking retarded. That's why I can handle it so well, because I didn't ask for it.
It was natural, and that's the thing about you is You were in the middle of a conversation, and if you pay attention to the interview you had, I mean, you know, because you were there, you were talking to somebody, and then they interrupted you, and they were live, and that's on them. And the guy asks you, I only know that reporter because of you, so I wouldn't even know who he is. I would have never heard of him. It's that interview. You got interrupted. You start questioning. He asks you the right question. How did you know there was a problem? You said, when a pretty little white girl runs into a black man in the arms, there's a problem. It's a dead giveaway. And from there, the rest is history, the auto-tune and all of that. But when the guy, for those of you that haven't watched it, I'll pull it up and we can watch it in a little bit. Somebody bumps into you, and I think it's another camera guy. And the way you look at him, and then a siren goes off. And I'm like, this guy thought, it's almost like a gut reaction. You hear a siren, and it looked like you were going to run for a second because your neck twists and you're like, wait a second, I heard a siren and then somebody bumped into you. Do you remember those little moments from the interview or no?
The moment you're referring to is when I was being interviewed by John Cossage and I did this. And after that, this movement, that's when you heard the sirens. The reason why I did this in the first place is because I had just been whispered in my ear that since I'm kind of popular and you saved the white girl, that now the NAACP has room for your black ass. So now I had a one-way ticket to meet Al Sharpton. Yes, the same Reverend Al Sharpton who doesn't have a church. So how the fuck are you a reverend? But so the look I gave was, if you don't get the fuck out of my face, tell that monkey to eat a dick. Get the fuck out of here. I'm doing big shit here. Get the fuck out of here. So that's what that was.
That's something. I'm going to pull it up.
And now, back to the siren. You know why you heard a siren? I'm going to tell you why you heard a siren. That's because the media was told to unplug your cameras. Nobody saw this, what I'm getting ready to tell you. I remember when I went up the street and was doing my little skipping shit, like, guess who I found? Guess who I found? Well, there was Puerto Ricans on that street. And they asked Amanda, who else was in that house? And she said, Gina De Jesus. And when she said that, Gina's father got a phone call. And he came with every Green Beret, what are they called? What's some Green Beret people? They like a militia, but they protect people. Guardian angels.
Oh, yeah.
He had 60 of them some bitches, right? And they had the berets on and M16s and camouflage outfits. And when they got to Seymour, the reason why you heard that siren is because they came with a police escort. He told the police and the ambulance, my daughter is going home with me. You put those other girls in the ambulance. So Gina got picked up by her dad, who looked like Pablo fucking Escobar.
He does. He's a boss, that man.
Cigar in his fucking mouth, the whole 9 yards.
Maybe that's why Ariel offed himself, because her dad was pissed off. If you watch his
my gosh,
he was.
Now you see why he had. Either way, he was going to go. Either way.
Because it was just.
But anyway, see shit. This is what happened. I was on the phone with Puff Daddy and Chris Brown, and Puff Daddy had $4 million, and Chris Brown had $4 million. And I was like, God damn, these niggas gonna give me $8 million. And they were like, no. I said, then what the fuck are you telling me about the money for? They go like, Ariel Castro's bond is $8 million. What are you gonna do? They were gonna pay his bond. Remember I told you we were gonna take him to Puerto Rico and we were gonna fucking kill his ass over there? We were gonna do that live. So the whole world can see what happens when you get caught.
Yeah, I think people would have. There wouldn't have been many objections to such a thing. I don't think. I'm all for the guillotine, like you said, town hanging. I think Cleveland could have used that when you got a guy that's taking girls from the street and getting away with it, and he's able to blend in like that. Guillotine comes in handy. You know what I mean? I think that's very fair to say that we can use such a. I mean, I'm all for it. If Ramsey ran for DA, I'd be voting for you. I think that more people are also for it, but I don't know why it's not a thing. I think that we are too soft on sex offenders and on child predators and kidnappers. The fact that Ariel Castro thought that it was consensual, and then he said that who cares about Michelle Knight? Nobody looked for her. It's that mentality, and there's more than one Ariel Castro, guys. There's a lot of them in the world. Charles wasn't living on.
How do we know this motherfucker doesn't have a house with 3 more girls in it? Remember, he just got taken away, but he never said anything else. We don't know.
No.
We hope like him. That's not the case.
Yeah, you can only hope.
And this happened the same day, is that right? The interview, the day of the rescue?
Matter of fact, everything happened that day because they wouldn't let me go. I had to leave and get off Seymour because it got overwhelming, bro. I mean, first, the local jokes come, and then after then the big boys come in and go, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? MSNBC and CNN and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure it was wild. Can't imagine.
Oh, man. Hey, not to mention every drug dealer in the neighborhood hates me now. Why is that? Because they can't sell fucking drugs. Do you know I made people get jobs? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but let me tell you, they give me some side-eye looks.
This is one of the funniest conversations I think we've had in a long time, and we'll be right back. I got my Charles Ramsey starter kit over here, and I think McDonald's should be paying him for these fries because I wouldn't have bought them if it wasn't for Charles. And let's get right into this McDonald's story that we were talking about backstage.
We were talking about having dinner with Charles at some point. I said, well, we should go to McDonald's. And he kind of was like, well, I don't know about McDonald's. And so there's a history here, right, Charles?
That it is.
So what, you are no good with McDonald's anymore. Is that right?
Let me tell you what them bastards did.
Have you had a Big Mac lately, Charles?
About an hour. Yeah, about an hour ago. But about an hour ago, baby. And nuggets. Yeah. This is what happened. And this is why I have animosity, if you will. They jumped on the hero bandwagon and they got caught up in shit because I mentioned their name during an interview. So they said, we're going to give this man McDonald's for life. We'll be in contact. See, they're not stupid.
Yeah.
Then later on, about 2 hours later, they said, we're going to give you $50,000 in gift cards. We'll be in contact. 24 hours later, they got in contact. They said, you meet us at that McDonald's where you bought that Burger King from. I mean, you bought that Big Mac from. We got something for you. So in my head, I got 50 grand coming in gift cards. I'm getting ready to be Santa Claus, right? Wrong. When I got there, they handed me an envelope. They shook my hand, pat me on the back. Said, you buying something? Said, no, I'm full. All right, nigga, get out of here. So I get in the car. I open up the envelope, and I'm counting gift card. There's 10, and I count. Something must have fell out. So I go back into McDonald's, right? I says, hey, I got $2,000 worth of gift card. They say, yeah, we know. I say, yeah, but I must have dropped 48,000 because I don't fucking see it, right? They say, well, about that.
About what?
About that. Corporate will be in contact with you. So they just told us to give you these $2,000 right here from this location, from this store only. Corporate will be in contact with you for the rest. I said, okay, so what can you do? You walk away, right? You figured you got a hold of me this way, you get a hold of me that way. Wrong. So this is what happened. Why they even stopped the $2,000. Do you know they saw me give the cards out to homeless people? And they saw me give these gift cards out to children. And a big black Suburban, all black with tinted windows, and 2 white boys with certain ties and shit, professional like. And they hopped out and they say, we did not give those to you to do that.
Men in black from McDonald's?
And that's why it came to a halt, because they saw me giving the cards out.
Whoa.
Look at when you die from a heart attack before you get. Their plan was you eat the 2,000, and before you get to the next one, you'll have a cholesterol problem. And there you go. They were pulling an aerial on you, but instead with a lot of Big Macs as a guinea. I mean, that's some cat. They can afford to give the world free food for life, let alone one person and whoever he wants to give it to. You can't be in a room with more than 10 people, 20, 30. It's not like you're giving a whole stadium. It's ridiculous that they made an offer on national TV too, you know, and they tweeted them. If you guys go on Twitter and you type in on McDonald's page, Ramsey, it comes up and it says, we'll be in contact. And such was not the case. I've heard from Mr. Charles over here. He wasn't having it with that. So, man, that's something. And it's not like you did it for that. It's don't promise stuff if you're not going to follow through with it.
Right.
Hold on, Nick. Wait a minute, Nick. What if I had said, you know, I just left Benihana and hell, I found her. Were you going to give me Benihana for life? Because if I'd have known that, I'd have said that.
Yeah. Oh, you should. Going back, that's one of your regrets is I had, what would you say? Like, what, shoot. I just got out of my brand new Escalade. I had gotten into the front door, my brand new, I mean, you could have Rolex. I got my Rolex on. I was
trying to get her out, my goddamn Rolex hit.
And it helped. The Rolex helped the contraption. You could have, man, damn, that is a good way to be mad. Because looking at that, you did get an aerial coming back from McDonald's. I mean, that was kind of just weird that he did that. But the fact that you started that interview off with, and that's what got the attention. I'm coming, hey, check this out. I'm coming back from McDonald's, right? I'm eating my little food, right? And this broad is trying to break out the fucking house next door to me. And the dispatcher wanted all this stuff about, well, are they still there? I just got back from McDonald's. There's another plug for McDonald's. You said that 10 times on the call, let alone the TV. I mean, it's ridiculous. You would think that they would incentivize that kind of stuff because this guy didn't find one girl. He found 3 women and a child that should have never been born. I'm sorry. Jocelyn is probably a gift to the world, but she shouldn't have existed because Amanda shouldn't have been kidnapped. She shouldn't have been in that position. They should have searched the bus driver. And back to the red flags for the people that are watching that have children and some of whom may be missing. And a lot of parents do turn to YouTube and they look for the Ramseys of the world for advice about that. And I know that everybody says don't give up, but aside from the don't give up and always have faith, let's brainstorm. How could we have gotten Ariel Castro out of that house without, what could we have, you know what I mean? Is there a way to lure these people out? Or do we have to wait for Amanda to be banging on the door and hope there's a Charles next door?
No, because Harry brought it up. And I'm glad you brought it up because it kind of makes sense. See, remember what my baby on Crime Time Buzz, remember what she said? She said she saw the Ariel be detained by the police. And since he didn't have a motorcycle's license, they videotaped him walking some bitch down the street to his house, which means what? Well, that goes back to everything, Nick. Maybe, what do we call it? The people that we trust to protect us are in on it. No, I'm not talking about
the police.
There we go.
Because they went to that house. Let's go back to this. Michelle Knight. Who called the police? Was it Michelle? She called the police, and I was stunned. I just learned this a few days ago, and I'm like, the more I watch these interviews with these girls, thank God that they're around to tell their stories, the more sickening it is, the fact that that piece of trash parasite went to the mother and took the missing person flyer and gave it to the girl that's missing. It takes the devil himself to do that. For the devil, there's nothing else. I'm sorry, but you're playing God. And then you have the audacity. It leaves you speechless. I mean, they should have public hangings for that kind of stuff. And it comes down to the police not doing their job. Why didn't they? Somebody called the police and said they need help. And they went, and this was years before. I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Amanda Berry was kidnapped yet, or maybe she was, but it was that early that they could have prevented the third one from getting kidnapped. And then you have CPS banging on the door. You know, so why didn't they do anything?
CPS do? Like I just said, hey, you got somebody in there that shouldn't be? No. And then they leave.
The honor system, like that works. It is, look, what at the end of the day, you know this better than I. If you're a pedophile, that's not snitching. If you're a kidnapper, it ain't snitching. If you're doing stuff like that and you take them in, that's not snitching. There's no such thing as snitching when it comes to stuff like that. So,
Right.
No such thing.
You don't protect ships and conversations, you protect the children and the victims.
That's all. That's it. That's
Right,
it.
Carl, can I ask you a question? Were there any clues in hindsight? And I know the windows were boarded up, but as you look back on that time, were there other clues like that we can use in the cases and kids we're looking for right now that stood out to you? Hindsight looking back, oh man, you know, or was it there were no clues and it was just complete shock and you're looking back and there's nothing else you saw that would have lent any suspicion?
Other than, see, let me paint a picture and put you in my position. Where I was 90% Hispanic. So you got me in Puerto Rico, right? Which happened to be, that's how that street was set up. Unless we had, what I mean we, is unless some neighbor or somebody on that street had told the police that you don't come in here because you come in with the blue suits and the badge, and if you are trying to catch somebody, you won't, because they'll see you and they go a certain way. You need to bring some undercovers, some people that look like they buy drugs, and let them snip around. See, if that had gone on, Ariel would have been caught a long time ago. That's all the police had to do. I mean, how many phone calls does it take for you to be like, you know what? Instead of me going, how about I send somebody who doesn't even look like a fucking cop and see what he comes across?
And if you drive a school bus, I think at that point you should have less, and unfortunately less rights than some people. If there's something that goes down involving kids, they should be able to look at your house. And if they find something that has nothing to do with it, they can't do anything. But I think that they should make it a mandatory, like a radius search, where if you live in this little region where a child vanished or a girl, you shouldn't have a problem with us checking your basement. We don't care about drugs. We don't care about guns. They have to not care about it and mean it. That not come back an hour later, at least give them a month to clean up shop. Kind of, there has to be like a statute of limitation that's extended for them to do it. And guess what? It's a life in the balance, and a life is more important than a prison cell. So at the end of the day, they have to prioritize that. The FBI, useless. What did they do in the case other than come and cry when they found out it was Gina DeJesus, and then they told the mother? Nothing. The case sat in their file cabinets for years until Charles Ramsey went to McDonald's, got a Big Mac, heard banging, saw the neighbors run, goes up, kicks the door. Well, first he has to put the Big Mac down because Angel, God forbid, he has to help. He had to run to the cameras. It shouldn't take Charles Ramsey to, usually, but I love that it did, because if it wasn't this guy, I wouldn't have. I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't have known the case. I was in high school. I was a senior. I didn't care about stuff like this. A lot of kids my age didn't. But when you had the auto-tune, high school, that was our viral video. It was going around senior year. That's how we knew about Amanda Berry. We weren't around when she went missing. And when we were like too young to remember that stuff. So Charles Ramsey brought a fresh take. And that's why McDonald's should look at it as that lens. It's not just that he rescued these girls. It's that people like me wouldn't have cared, unfortunately, at that age to even look into them. If it wasn't for somebody.
I don't want McDonald's to do a damn thing for me. If I gave you a shout out, right, and said your company, then you just take the initiative. So instead of doing something for me, why don't you build homeless shelters and shit and come up with some kind of program that help what we're talking about tonight, instead of keep selling these fucking hamburgers. I said your name for a reason, for you to be something else than a McDonald's conglomerate big ass company. Help humanity. How much money have you made since you've been open? Since the McDonald's brothers have been put together, this genius idea to come up with this fast food shit. How much have you made? Enough. That's all I want you to do. Just give back some, motherfucker.
And then they punish you for giving back what they gave to you.
I don't need any fucking handout from no son of a bitch. I had a job, you know what I mean? When I found them girls, I got a job now. I'll have a job way after this is over. So I don't need shit from nobody. But there's some people out here in this planet that do need that help. That's all.
Yeah. And they punish you for helping them.
And that's why they shut it down, because they saw me feeding people instead of giving myself a cardiac arrest. You know what I mean? Like you say, clogged up my arteries.
Yeah, that's what they were hoping.
I want that.
I guarantee you, if you ate all that and you called them back, they would have said, yeah, we got you 2,000 more. This is the last round before he's in surgery. It doesn't get any older than that.
There you go.
I'm just mind blown with the way the neighbor's able to blend in like a lizard or an iguana or a stray cat in a neighborhood. And it really comes down to the fact that they're all the same, right? It's a lot of Hispanic. He's Hispanic. So the people that do know something, they don't want to say, hey, yeah, I thought I saw a girl in there, but I didn't know. And I waited all these years until this guy rescued him. And yeah, because now you are the problem. But how much did you know? Did you go in the house? Did you say something to them? Now, the girls have never said that anybody spoke to them, but that doesn't mean that nobody heard them. If you can hear them from your home, that means the band that came to practice, which for those of you guys that don't know, a band would go to Ariel's house.
He had a goddamn band in his house practicing, and you guys in here shit, nothing out of place. You're just focused on making that goddamn salsa music, right? That's the only thing you were doing, is trying to figure out a new move to do the what's that?
Merengue, whatever. Yeah, that's what you were saying. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's what you were focused on? The fuck out of here.
This guy should have been on the radar too. When I was looking through his history, he had a history of violence and sexual assault and everything, leading all the way up to this. And the bus driver and all the kind of red flags.
The street already knew how this motherfucker was, but you said nothing.
Yeah, he should have been on somebody's radar investigating one of these three girls, because I'm assuming the three girls disappeared nearby where he lives, not that far away. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, he didn't go far. That's why this was so mind-blowing that he had the kahunas, if you will, to pull this off. Because you took kids away, and you know their parents. These weren't random children. You every night or every year during the vigil, you would do the walk and go right past her house and go, I tell you one thing, she not in there.
Yeah.
You sick fuck.
Makes you
It
wonder.
had been 10 years. Had you lost hope?
Never. Never lost hope and never gave up my faith.
Why?
Because I knew she was still alive.
How did you know?
People call them dreams. I call them vision that God gave me. She will knock on my front door. She will be coming through my front door.
Had to get tough after 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years.
Yes, then it was a fight. Because then I learned I would never accept a no, because I needed to get her picture out there. I needed information. So I did everything I had to do, no matter what it was.
So tell me about May 6th. Where were you? How did it happen? How did you get the news?
In the kitchen, I can hear the commotion going on Seymour, because my sister lived on Seymour. I was actually 2 blocks away. My sister's house, she's on West 32nd.
You were 2 blocks away from Gina. Anytime you went to your sister's house, you were 2 blocks away.
We passed by so many times. Even for my appointments, we would always turn down Seymour to go to Scranton, then head up straight to Metro for my appointments. So my baby sister tells me, Sandra, she says, Nancy, they found 3 girls in the basement. I said, okay. She said, well, we gotta go. So I said, okay, let's go. But then I see all these people. I see the yellow line tape. And the first person I saw was the FBI agent Andrew. And that's when I ran. I ran and I lifted up the tape and I ran right through it. And I ran right into him and I says, just please tell me that it's her and that she's okay. Because he was crying. And I was like, oh God. He says, Nancy, it's her and she's alive. The only thing I did was cry. And because I knew they were gonna fight. I knew they either find her or that she would escape, either one. So I ran up to her. And the first thing I did was I had to pat her down. I had to make sure. It's like when you first have your child, you're checking 5 fingers, the toes, their legs, everything. And that was exactly what I did to her.
Do you remember the first thing she said to you?
I have something to show you, Mom. She showed me the flyer that she decorated. She put butterflies, flowers, and it was a flyer that I gave to Ariel Castro one Saturday.
So she held on to it.
Oh, he went home, straight home, and gave it to her and made fun of me, telling her that, yeah, your mom's back out in the street giving out flyers. Here's one of the flyers. And that's what kept her hope stronger, because she knew we were out there still looking for her and doing things.
Do you still have that flyer?
Yes, we do. We do have it.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
Makes you wonder, right? I mean, chime in on this, because this is the first time I've ever covered. I mean, back at the Inquirer, I covered cases like Molly Tibbetts, Jamie Claw, stuff like that, but I've never covered them the way you guys have, Mr. E and J. You guys came onto YouTube, I believe, for missing persons cases. I came on because I was chasing an escaped murderer from prison. He killed somebody, got convicted, escaped. I chased him a little bit, never saw him. I'm sure he saw me. But I want to pick your brain. We have somebody here that saved 3 women.
I like the idea where Charles said put some undercover cops in there in the neighborhoods, because then they're blending with the people. They're talking to the people. They're learning. Like, for instance, where Summer Wells is from, she lives in a holler. They're very close, generationally close. You don't like to talk
No kids are going to come up missing. Nobody gives a fuck about them kids in the Appalachians. What the fuck?
But they're not gonna talk. They're not as comfortable with law enforcement. So if there's an undercover dude in there to maybe do a drug deal or whatever's going on, they're gonna befriend him and find out.
Do that, babe. Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Even
exactly. You are dealing, like you said, you said the word holler. And for any black person, I'm going to tell you what that means. Your black ass better not be in that holler. That's what that means.
Yeah. I would be surprised if they're not working informants on both of these cases, Summer and Sebastian, if they're not trying to develop those, or at least considering that as a strategy.
Yeah, that's probably correct. I hope so. Because that's a good strategy to get in there with the people. You can learn a lot from the people. And the thing of it is we don't know where any of the children are that are missing. Summer, Sebastian, any of them. They could be in the basement next door. Sure. We don't know. And what happens, what kind of always concerning is as time goes on, people see it as a statistic. Well, statistically, they're no longer with us. Okay, well, they're more than a statistic because we've got the Cleveland 3 came home in over a decade, Elizabeth Smart 9 months, Stephen Strainer 7 years. So they do come home, and unless there's evidence, I am a parent, you would have to show me my child is no longer with us rather than assume because time and statistics say they probably are not. You know what I mean? Because in the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they did a 2019 analysis, and they recovered 2,564 kids after 1 to 5 years. They recovered 255 kids who had been in captivity or missing for 5 to 10 years. And in that 2019 analysis, they recovered 117 kids who had been missing 10 or more years. So we've got to keep the hope, even though time goes on, it does. And if there's no evidence that someone's not with us, time can't be the evidence, if that makes sense.
Sure. Yeah. And if you're the parent, even if it's a 1 in 1,000 chance, you go with that sliver of hope and you keep going forward.
Absolutely.
And in this situation, it wasn't which girl was it? Was it Amanda Berry that had the flyer presented to her showing that people were still looking, and that's what gave her the hope? Oh, it was Gina. Okay. Yeah. And so imagine, if that same situation is happening for Sebastian or Summer, maybe they get to watch TV at some point and they see their face and see one of these vigils or searches or something that's gone on. It may be giving them the hope that people are still looking for them.
They need that lifeline, knowing someone's fighting for them.
Sure. You just don't know what they've seen or what they're allowed to see.
And then the kids like Michelle Knight who see no one fighting for them, it's hard for them to fight for themselves, and keep that tenacity to survive when they know no one's fighting for them.
Right.
Michelle is very brave.
That is heartbreaking. Charles, do you keep in touch with the girls or do you guys kind of go on about your lives, or do you reunite once in a while?
Yeah, we chat. Michelle is a wild one. She's hard to get in contact with. See, I'm not judging her. I'm just letting you know what's going on with her.
Sure.
I took her, and I'll be proud of this. I took her away from her abuser. Do you know she went and married the same type of ethnic background person? And I'll let you look through the line and figure that one out. So she's a lost fucking cause. Now, Jesus is doing damn good. We talk, but we don't talk on social networks. We talk in person. Hug, go about our business. Amanda, well, the world knows what she's doing, but we don't talk on social network. We meet somewhere in person, or call her a lawyer and we meet up, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
Because I don't want them girls to be out in public and a chance of them being kidnapped again. Because this time when they get kidnapped, it won't be because some dude's a pedophile and he's just crazy about a kid. It's because these women are famous and somebody's damn sure going to pay that ransom.
Wow. That's sad, but you might be right.
Yeah, that's
I'm totally right, bro.
Point. Yeah.
I'm totally right. See,
someone who's famous and get claim to fame, right?
There you go. There you go. Now, can I ask y'all something? Because Nick gone and Holly, Nick right there. But anyway, back to that missing children thing. Because it was never told to me where it happened, what state, what county.
Oh yeah, fill it in. Let's tell Charles everything there is to know about this. Because you guys are the experts on that case, and I think it's best that you guys.
Which case?
Yeah, because I don't care. He was trying to tell me, he's like, well, I think it was here, and I think it was here. Well, just ask him. So I'm asking, where did this case happen? And go.
Which case are you referring to, Summer or Sebastian?
Let's do both. So I guess let's start with Jay and then go to Mr. E.
Okay, Summer's from Tennessee, Eastern Tennessee. a town called Hawkins County, which is nestled between Rogersville and Kingsport. And she was 5 years old when she was reported missing. She has not been seen. Lots of possible sightings, but they weren't her. Her home is on top of a hill, like all those dogs.
That's the one you told me about, the dogs. Okay, okay.
The dogs weren't there that day. So no one, whatever happened, whether someone came on the property, the dogs weren't there to bark. Mom was there, grandma, the brothers, and she's they say just gone. Okay. So lots of, like the father that day had texted the mother, but he was supposed to be at work. And he said, there's a child molester on our property. No one, he wasn't home. She wasn't home, but I don't know. We always wonder, how did he know that? Right. And so it's a strange story. She's nowhere to be found. There were tree trimmers below her house that day, trimming the trees away from the electrical line. Right. And, but they were all interviewed, and she's now would be in fourth grade, taken right before kindergarten. And just about 9-10 days ago, they got a tip that led to an area about 9.5 miles from her home. And that's the most movement in 4 years for her. And she's got an active Amber Alert, but they did a search. They're out there. We don't know what they did, but one of my local connections out there said there were about 15 vehicles, law enforcement, FBI, whatever. And so we have not heard yet what led them out there, but she is still missing. It's been 4.5 years. But her area is very rural. Like I said, it's a holler, very tight knit people, that kind of thing. And everyone's been, everyone's trying to. Oh, go ahead. Sure.
I mean, not to cut you off. I mean, I'm listening to you, babe, but my question is this. The parents, her guardians, whoever's taking care of her, just by chance, were they ever drug tested that you know of? Now, surely you might not have that answer. I'm just thinking, I'm putting 2 and 2 together. You know what I mean? Because say, up here in Cleveland, we don't have hollers. But what we do have whores that get pregnant and do drugs and sell their kids.
Yes. I will say that rumored and confirmed, that the father did try to sell one of his younger children from a former marriage, his ex-wife said, for drugs.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really awful.
So
really unbelievable.
Apparently that's on their radar.
And they've had their children taken away from them since, the other remaining children.
Yes, the mother has
What I just said. If you take the kid away, it doesn't mean nothing. She'll just have another kid. What, it's going to stop?
The mother has had 6 kids. Her first 2 kids were with another man in the state of Wisconsin, and both of those kids were taken from her. One of which has experienced like brain damage from violence and that's what I believe. The other does not associate with her. And now these 4, the 3 boys were taken after Summer went missing, and Summer's missing. So of all those children, 6 kids, she does not have one remaining with her.
You know where that came from? Somebody thought it was a good idea to give her and everybody else on this planet free will. Free will's a motherfucker. You got to have with free will.
Did that answer your questions, though, Charles, a little bit? Kind of rural.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And she was 5.
I was 5. And I'm doing my own homework over here. And I'm come up with, okay, we'll dig up the property. How about we send some undercovers in there? Drug test the parents. Dogs to sniff the property. And how about the black web? But if you just told me it's in a holler, hell, the sheriff might be in on this.
And we'll let you research.
Why are you laughing? No, you guys
I think
tell Charles what
your initial theories are a lot of the theories that people have. So you're thinking the way a lot of the public has thought about that case. Yeah.
Right. It's the goddamn sheriff. That's why it's a swept underneath the rug. It's a holler.
You always wonder in those real small towns like that, what's going on. You do have to wonder.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other case that we were talking about is similar in some ways, but different too. But this is Sebastian Rogers, and he was 15 years old when he went missing. And this is just a little over a year and a half ago. So it's February 26th of 2024. And his parents in a suburb outside of Nashville, fairly affluent area. And the day before, he's out with his mom. They go to the arcade. They go to the steakhouse. All of this we've seen on surveillance video. Everything seems okay. According to the mother, they say goodnight. He goes to bed. She goes to wake him up the next day at about 6 a.m. and he's gone. Doesn't take his phone, doesn't take any money. Even his shoes are at the door, and he disappears. And nothing is this. The dogs didn't pick anything up. None of the security cameras in the neighborhood pick anything up. He just seemingly vanished. And he has a few special needs, but autism is the one that got a lot of folks' attention. There is an active Amber Alert for Sebastian also, and we don't know why. We don't know what triggered the Amber Alert. There's certain criteria to make him, because not all missing kids get the Amber Alert, but some form of evidence that the police have seen where allowed them to issue that Amber Alert. So, and they searched the landfill for the parents' home almost 2 weeks later. And we don't know what they found or if anything at all.
Every day he's out there, he's searching, he's doing all that, but mom isn't. So again, you don't want him to feel like Michelle did.
They need dogs, bro. I mean, first you gotta. The reason why we can be so anal about what we're talking about is because we have compassion. But the rest of the planet is not on this panel. See, it's just me, Nick, and you three, right? But you got a lot of people, right, that are going against what we're doing. You know what I mean? So I hear you, but what can you do, and what can those children do when they're stuck right now as we speak in that situation? You know what I mean?
I know.
So I'm not knocking that there's no faith. I like to keep hope alive like the next person. It's just that it starts with the parents. Baby, these kids just don't up and just fucking leave at a young age. And just, I'm done with whatever you got going on, unless it's that damn abusive. You know what I mean? But other than that, these parents shouldn't have been parents, babe. This ain't. See, I was born in 1969. And when 1989 came around, this planet took a hell of a turn up to what we have now.
Evans, yes. It's a different world.
After Ronald Reagan got shot, this planet went to shit. If I'm wrong, do your homework. But I'm telling you, before Reagan, everything was normal. People went to work. People went to school. Of course you had crimes. Of course you had prostitution. If this is Earth, that shit's not going anywhere. The point is, it wasn't fucking that widespread. But now what do we got? Lawlessness. Every fucking where.
It's like we're in international waters at all times. It's a lawless world. I don't get it. And, maybe if we were a little tougher on crime, someone does something to a child, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Someone does something
and
like that.
I think that's the big thing is the sentencing is just.
Because there's usually several crimes leading up to the more serious crimes, and a lot of, we're not serious about it. We don't protect our children.
Right.
And then they get realistic sentences. Like, what are you going to do with 1,000 years? Charles.
You're paroling child molesters when we parole them. And why are we surprised when they go out and take a kid and kill them?
Yeah, because people with those appetites, they don't change. You can't rehabilitate those people.
Fuck no. You know what they do when they go to jail? People just like, and they come up with what? Better ideas than they had when they went in there.
It's like a college for criminals, right? Sometimes. Yeah.
And yes, bro, I learned the best time to rob a bank is during the winter. And I was like, why would I do that? And the dude told me, well, one, it's called snow flurries, so it won't be a helicopter. Two, if you're able to get a snowmobile, you can go where the cars can't. Son of a bitch. Where did I learn that? In jail.
Wow.
Yeah. You honed your skill.
It might be not pertinent information to some.
Well, I'm wondering. I mean, did jail take a part, you think, in prison? Did you go to prison or just jail?
I went to 3 times.
Prison?
Prison. See, I'm not an inmate. I'm a convict. And if you know the difference, then you do. If you don't, I would gladly enlighten you.
Do you think that took a little bit? Did the prison experience help? Maybe if Angel, the Dominican, went to prison a little bit, he would have had the balls to go and do what you did. What other than being an American? Because I would do the same thing. I mean, I don't care. I'll suffer the consequences. If this girl's setting me up, it is what it is. At least I tried and I thought I was doing the right thing, So if it was a setup, it is what it is. I would do the same thing. I wish I could do the same thing because I'd do it in a heartbeat.
If Angel was half the man as Holly, I'd have respect for him.
Angel. What are we gonna do? Who names a guy that's a piece of work? Angel. The guy came. No Angel. Mm-hmm. No Angel. You know, even Amanda Berry wrote about the guy, and she's the one that was kidnapped. So he's got some balls to pull that off. Now, Ariel had some balls. You said, no. Angel has some different level. But, you know, that's a little bit because you still haven't done your salsa music or barbecue with this one. You know what I mean? And I don't think there's any ribs in his future with you. Well, broken ribs if he kept it up. But other than that, I love how
He's gonna be able to tell us what Jimmy Hopper's buried like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it takes like. Did you think it wasn't going to come out? I guess. Well, but let me slow back. Let me back it up. You said the whole neighborhood was Hispanic, so maybe it wouldn't have came out because you're the only one that said it, other than Amanda Berry herself. So if it wasn't for Amanda saying it, it would still be up in the air. You know, the only reason it's solidified is because it came out of her mouth, which is ridiculous because they should have believed you, especially when the guy didn't call 911, did he? No, because I didn't hear any other Spanish 911 call. You know, I only heard you and Amanda, and I heard one idiot answer the one call and a moron answer the other call. And luckily, the police somehow got there, you know, under God's great will. They didn't believe you, and then they took 2-3 looks, and you mean there's more girls in that house? And let's go back to that day, man. I just can't wrap my head around it because I was in high school, and I feel like I remember it crystal clear, and it makes me feel kind of old. It's been, 12 years? 12 years. It's looking back. I mean, there's nothing ever since, and there has never been something to that day. And I doubt there ever will be. That somebody might rescue one person or help them get out, but 3?
Chris, very interesting. Yesterday when we got on scene here on Seymour Avenue, a Cleveland police officer brought this gentleman to me saying that he helped Amanda Berry by kicking down the door. That gentleman we spoke to yesterday, he doesn't speak English, only Spanish, and we spoke to him again tonight. I asked Angel Cordero if he thought he was a hero, and the 32-year-old simply said, with a smile on his face and in Spanish,
La ayudé y fui primero.
I helped her, and I was first. You see, Monday afternoon, it wasn't just Charles Ramsey to the rescue. And going back, you hear it in his interview.
We can't get in that way.
The we Ramsey was referring to sounds like the same person a Cleveland police officer told News Channel 5 on Monday knocked down the door at 2207 Seymour Avenue.
Ramsey arrived after she was outside with the girl.
The girl, Amanda Berry's daughter.
But the truth, who arrived here, who crossed the street, who broke the door, it was me.
Wintel Tejeda, who lives across the street from where the rescue happened, said Ramsey and others did also help. And when Amanda Berry came out, she was given a phone.
She was able to call police from my house.
But this is the interview making headwaves across the world.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms. Something is wrong here.
The problem is we weren't on camera.
Joking, both say they're not jealous.
I did what had to be done.
There ain't no beat. You can't beat that record. And you shouldn't have to, because those people shouldn't be on the street, right? We shouldn't have these sex pest perverts out there driving school buses, parking them at the house and taking the kids in. What did the parents do of the missing kids that you guys were discussing, Summer and Sebastian?
What did they do when the kids? I don't believe Candace worked, but Summer's dad is a drywaller, and Sebastian's mom installs surveillance cameras, yet they had none in their home or around it. And we're going to hear that one, Charles.
I know.
The stepdad worked. He allegedly was in Memphis, and the biological father.
He was a prison guard.
Thank you.
For Davidson County, so for Nashville. And he was on the clock during the time Sebastian went missing. So
on camera, verified times, times.
Right. So
how'd you like that surveillance comment, Charles?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me? I do this for a living, but there's not one in my house.
That's right.
What?
Or around.
Or
And I don't turn on porch lights, even though the neighborhood's pitch black that night. No porch lights. We're just giving the facts.
Let me ask you something, pretty lady. When do you think this shit is going to stop?
I don't know.
Because you gotta be tired of it. And I can look at you. You try to do your job and stay beautiful as all hell, but stupidity is wearing thin on you.
I think what we need to do is be tougher on crime, and regardless. And if you're a neighbor or you're anyone, when you see something, you say something. When you hear, like you did, when you hear something, and we hear about well, I was told this wasn't this and it's not random or it's not that, then go report that. Well, no, that's not my conversation to share. Yes, it is. We're all humans. And if someone's life is at stake, you share whatever you know, whatever you see, whatever you hear, no matter where it came from, because lives matter.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm fucking saying.
Yeah, I think all of these situations, Amanda Berry, Sebastian Summer, all of them have people that have information that they're holding back. They may not realize it's important or they're scared, but I think there were people probably before Charles that could have saved those girls and had seen things.
Hell yeah. What do you mean?
And
if I just got there and she had already been kidnapped for 11 fucking years, you mean nobody saw that?
Right.
Bro.
Didn't see something suspicious, hear a noise, heard the chains, something.
Somebody called the police. How much more do you need? They called 911 and said, help me.
So I don't know this part of the story. So Knight is the one that called the police early on. Is she the one that called?
I believe
911?
so.
And they came out, and what happened with that?
Nothing.
They
There
just
was
said,
also a parole officer or something or someone was checking well checks or something, CPS. Someone was checking on the house.
Yes, that's it.
Crazy. And this guy.
Failure has to stop. The failure has to stop in the system. Everyone has to do their job all along the way and quit waiting for that one tip to come in. You're hired to do your job. Go do your job. You don't get to sit at home and wait.
That's all I'm saying. Accountability. You motherfuckers don't have it. Keep in mind, I'm trying to break her out of somebody's house and have a conversation with her at the same time. So, do the math. So the neighbor that I saw run across the street, he wouldn't give me a hand. He ran behind me. Understood. I'm not bashing him. It was a panicky situation. I'm not saying I'm more calm under the pressure than he is. It's just one of those, I got to do this, or I'm going to feel bad about myself type situations. So I kicked the bottom of the door because it's just aluminum. It's a screen door, $7 door. She crawls underneath the door. She grabs her baby. So she makes her phone call on the neighbor's phone. I make the 911 call on my phone. I say some smart comments to police just to speed up the process, because I figured, don't ask me questions when the 911 button is hit. Now, I never understood that. If you say 911, what's your emergency? I tell you my emergency.
Cleveland 911, police, ambulance, or fire.
Yeah, hey, bro, I'm at 2207 Seymour, West 25th. Hey, check this out. I just came from McDonald's, right? So I'm on my porch eating my little food, right? This broad is trying to break out the fucking house next door to me. So there's a bunch of people on the street right now and shit. So we like, well, what's wrong with you? What's the problem? She like, this motherfucker done kidnapped me and my daughter, and we've been in this bitch.
Sir, you have to calm down and slow down.
And you ask, where you at? I tell you where I'm at.
Seymour Avenue.
Is she still in the street, or where did she go?
Yeah, I'm looking at her. She right now. She calling y'all. She on another phone.
Is she black, white, or Hispanic?
She white, but the baby look Hispanic.
Okay, what is she wearing?
White tank top, light blue.
Do you know the address next door that she said she was in?
Yeah, 2207. I'm looking at it.
Okay, I thought that was your address. So that house.
No, I'm smarter than that, bro. I'm telling you where the crime was.
Okay, look, sir, we can't talk at the same time.
Either tell me, stay on the line. Well, ain't that something? Stay on the line. Or you're going to tell me, okay, talk to the car that's going to be there, which means you hung up.
Amanda Berry.
You need police, fire, or ambulance?
I need police.
Okay, and what's going on there?
I've been kidnapped and I've been missing for 10 years, and I'm here. I'm free now.
Talk to the police when they get there.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, talk to the police when they get there.
Okay, right now.
We're going to send them as soon as we get a car open.
No, I need the nuggets back. I'm Amanda Berry. I've been on the news for the last 10 years.
Okay, I got that here. I already. Right, the police are on the way there.
Okay.
I told you they're on the way. Talk to them when they get there, okay?
All right, okay.
Well, I wonder who that happened to. Not to get into that. So anyway, as I'm standing next to Amanda, here comes the good old officers. One officer goes right to Amanda. He's getting ready to put her in the car. She says, well, there's 2 more girls in there, so I'm not going anywhere until we get them out of there. I was blown away. Say in your city, if some child came up missing 10 years ago, would it ring a effing bell to you?
Well, what did you say to her when she said, I'm Amanda Berry? Did you say, oh, you were the one who's been missing for 10 years? I mean, did you say anything to her?
That's exactly what I said. Verbatim.
Do you want to leave your name and number? Or name
Charles Ramsey, R-A-M-S-E-Y.
The people she said that did this, do you know if they're still in the house?
I don't have a fucking clue, bro.
Can you ask her if she needs an ambulance?
You need an ambulance? Or what? She needs everything. She's in a panic, bro. I guess she's been kidnapped, so, put yourself in her shoes.
You take an oath, whatever you are, it's your responsibility. Get out there and do it. The public, you can't wait for a tip from the public.
Right. And I think that's what's happening.
You're tired. Get out there.
And when you get a tip, look what happened. It took them how long? Probably, it shouldn't have taken any more than 2 minutes to get the police over there. When you say I've got anything Barry on a phone, it don't matter if you get the first, second, third. A girl's missing. She said she's been kidnapped. She's been in here 10 years. That's all you should know.
And then to say to Charles, does she need anything?
No, I'm just calling you to let you know.
She needs everything,
How long did it take them to get there? Did it take a while?
They got there real fast because they were focused on me.
Right, okay.
That's the fastest I've seen the police get anywhere in the city of Cleveland.
They thought they were getting you, huh?
They came free. They came. It looked like the damn Navy SEALs was come to get my ass.
That's crazy. And it makes you wonder, where are their priorities? What do they think is a prank? Who's dumb enough to be calling in a prank? That's a very, maybe they have. You said maybe they were apprehensive, but look, you got her calling too. So where's that excuse? I know
it's still calling.
The
fuck it'd be a free call if we're both calling, saying the same goddamn thing at the same fucking location.
It's ridiculous. I don't know how they even mix it up. It shouldn't take, you're right, that long. They shouldn't have to ask 5,500 follow-ups. They asked Amanda, what's he wearing? How the hell? I've been kidnapped for 10 years. I'm Amanda Berry. I got you. We'll be there. Talk to the police when they get there. Missing for 10 years. Talk to the police when they get there.
What are they going to do? Scour Cleveland for a guy in blue shorts and a white shirt? I mean, that was irrelevant at that point, Right. There's a lot of people in Cleveland.
It makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. I just can't wrap my head around it because everything in this case is botched except Charles. Neighbor, average American who works for a living, woke up that morning pissed because the Ariel Castro seemed like a shitty neighbor to begin with, only to find out before dinner time that he was living next door to the parasite that kidnapped 3 girls and hid them and then tried to poison you with the food that they cooked. I'm surprised that they didn't have you to testify as a victim because you're a victim. Technically, he was poisoning you. If he didn't know because there was no poison. Luckily, the girls are... I don't know. I'm surprised there wasn't poison. I mean, they got lucky with that one. I'm sure they had put some before, but maybe you didn't get that serving. There's a God that protected you in this too, because there's no way that, and I doubt that the girls would say it openly because just in case, but I bet you that they did at one point. I would have tried a million times. You kidding me? You took me. I'm going to do everything I can to get the hell out of here. Poison you. If that works, let's go. Scumbag, you took me. What would your advice be to Michelle Knight's parents if you can go back to the day she was taken or the year she was taken? And if you can talk some sense into them without thinking that you're crazy, say you went back in time and there was a time machine and you pop up and you see parents talking to the cops and they're like, yeah, our daughter, she's mentally unstable. She might've ran off. And you go up to them and say, look, I'm going to save her in 10 years.
I'd say, Michelle told me she was babysitting her siblings one day, and it was around Christmas. And she was somewhere, I guess, in the kitchen putting together some food or popcorn, whatever they were doing, but they were getting ready to watch movies on a VHS. She says when she came back in the room where the TV was, it wasn't a Christmas movie. It was somebody videotaping somebody having sex with Michelle, and they put it on a VHS. Now, you ask Michelle, how do I know that story? Because she fucking told me that story. So what would I say to the parents? I'm going to fucking kill you.
Well, yeah. There you go. I mean, heck, you got to be blunt with that kind of stuff because I'm the same way. Look, you can't abandon your child. You had him. Now you got to deal with it. Doesn't matter about the age. 21, 19, 6, 14, 30, 50, 80. It's a human that's missing and nobody cares. That's what happened to Cleveland now. Is that era of Cleveland? It took Charles Ramsey to wake up a whole city and say, oh, guys, look, there's 3 girls over here with a baby that y'all been looking for with the FBI and all the letters of the alphabet. But it comes down to you. And if you weren't there, I mean, again, we do say that there's a chance she would have gotten out. It's still not 100%. And you can't say 100% that she would have gotten out because what if he came back?
I would like to hope. I would like to hope so, but yeah, you know.
You know, I was just thinking about what Charles had asked. And, you know, Charles, if I think that if a child's missing, the parent who is with the child, if they can't produce or give decent one story that stays the same, they go behind bars till the child's home. That's how I feel.
Thank you, babe.
Put him behind because you know what?
That's
Just like
all
Castro,
I'm
he
saying.
didn't like being behind bars. He killed himself. But I mean, if the parent who was with the child seems suspicious, and suspicion to me is your story's changing, you're not searching, you're not doing media interviews, put them behind bars till the child is produced. Maybe we'll see less children go missing.
I agree. Put some pressure on people.
Put some pressure on people. That's the key word. We don't have that because it's not politically correct to bother me.
It's an epidemic. And what about the parents who don't report their children missing? That blows my mind. And they're still walking the streets. You know, oh, sorry, I forgot I hadn't seen her for a year. I mean, come on.
It flies in the face of reality. No parent can not notice your child missing. You're not a parent at that point. I'm sorry, but isn't parenting?
Exactly. You were never a parent in the first place. You met a dude that had sperm and it went inside you, and then you had a baby, but you weren't a parent because you didn't come in the relationship with love or responsibility. So how the fuck can you put that word on somebody? Being a parent is strong, bro. Like Harry, he's a parent. Take care of my kid, watch my kid, feed my kid, discipline my kid, take my kid to school, teach my kid not to disrespect his mother and anybody else on this fucking planet. See, that's a parent.
Making sure your child's at home. That's a parent. Checking in on your child and not saying that, oh, they're mentally unstable, they ran away, like Michelle Knight.
Yeah,
that's the last thing we
have parents, bro. Yeah, they don't have parents. They have older roommates. That's all. That's what's going on. You're just an older roommate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd have, you know what you were saying, putting the parents in jail. I mean, you can do that. Sometimes they do that in certain counties. I'm a big fan of pressure, putting people under the screws a little bit, make them uncomfortable. I think those strategies work better than
a child's life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Try anything.
Yeah.
Or we should be trying anything.
Make people talk, put them in a situation where they want to talk their way out of it, get some information.
Absolutely. Not feel like they're just living their best life and no one's going to question it.
Yeah. Because these strategies haven't worked in these two cases.
Definitely not. I'm hoping we're going to see some positive outcome of the search for Summer a couple of weeks ago. They haven't reported anything yet. Maybe they found nothing. Maybe they found something and they're digging into it, but I hope it means we're getting closer.
It's definitely positive development. I mean, I think there's lots of reason to be hopeful. I mean, 4 years later, they're not going out there for no reason.
Not that many vehicles. They didn't just send a couple like they did when they went below the mailbox, a few months ago. There was just a couple of them, or I don't know how many, but the local sources said there were about 15 cars out at Van Hill Road. So hopefully we're going to hear something. Someone will speak up and Summer can get justice and we can.
And so far, nothing seemed to have leaked on that one way or the other.
No, just the information from the PI. There was a PI who tweeted a few months ago. Jason Jensen got a great reputation. He's not one of those guys who throws stuff out there to see if it sticks and keeps coming up with new stuff.
Right.
And a few months ago, he said, I just received an anonymous tip on the Summer Wells case. And he said they were afraid to call law enforcement. Thank you so much for calling me. And then shortly after, he said, I know who you are. Turn your brother in. They'll go easy on you. Well, guess what? Where they're searching now, and we're not accusing, there's no connection that we've been confirmed, but there's one property in the area where they searched on November 13th, and two brothers do live there. So it's interesting. I wonder, is that connected? Are we going to see positive movement because of that? Or is that just a coincidence, which you know what we say about that in true crime?
Sure.
It could be, and one of the brothers does own a tree trimming business, but again, they use the public works, tree trimming, but locals are telling me they also contracted locals out. So waiting to hear, what's true, what's verified. And that's where we're at right now. Did they find anything? Did they not? Are they on someone's hot trail?
That tree trimming thing, that's a pretty big coincidence.
And also, they were looking for a red Tacoma pickup truck, and apparently, allegedly, one's associated with that property, with that area, that property-ish. But they've never named the family's property. They're saying they're in this area. I guess they've given an address too, but they're in this area. We don't know if that means the family, it could just mean someone who's a real creeper knew that's a good family and did something on that property, and it's not connected to them at all.
Right, absolutely.
People are like, well, the Hawkins County residents are upset because he's a pillar of society, the older man who owns the home. But also, we've also seen pillars of society be the perpetrators. But we're not accusing. We don't know what's going on there right now. But there's movement, and I think that's really positive if you tie it to Jason Jensen's tip.
Yeah, just know, and, even if you knew exactly whose land they were looking at, even if you know the owner of the land, that doesn't mean they know what's on their land.
Exactly.
It could just be somebody that's familiar with their family, a friend, another family member. It could be at work. I guess it could be random, but
they could know. Oh, they've got all that acreage over there. We'll go, dispose of our crime over there. But also, there is a pig farm there, which is, always alarming when we're looking for someone missing. Because
one of those concerns. Yeah.
Heard you talk, not to cut you off, but what do you know about pig farms? And the reason why I'm asking this is when you want to get rid of somebody, you know what I would do?
No, I don't.
The pig eat you. You know why? Because the pig doesn't just eat the flesh. It eats the marrow.
Yes. I Googled it. I did Google it, and they said that they eat everything except for sometimes the teeth they don't break down and it'll come out of their digestive system, or they'll leave it in the pen. But they say how much they take depends on how hungry the pigs are, how many are in that pen, and how big the body is.
So what if after you eat the body, I cut the pig up?
What?
What if after the pig eats the body and then I cut the pig up and I barbecue it?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't thought of that. Wow. Oh, wow, Charles. Yeah. Oh, wow. You just made my mind go somewhere I don't want it to go. That's, yeah. What if they sell it for bacon? What happens? Seriously, think about it. That's a great point, Charles. I don't know. We'll have to call a pig farm and ask. Oh, by the way.
Then you get on a list.
Yeah.
Then you get on the FBI list.
Again.
This guy's looking around for hog farms, then the FBI is flagging you.
But I'm telling you, Harry, I'm with you, but that had to be said. You know what I mean? I'm with you. Let the dogs out is what I want to do. You know what I mean? But think about it. She said pigs. The first thing on my goddamn mind is that's the best way for any man. Hillbilly taught me that from West Virginia because he caught me stealing his fucking ginseng. He was like, you know what I ought to do to you? I said, what, shoot me? He's like, why would I waste ammunition on you? I just feed you to my goddamn pig. They won't find your black ass because after he eats you, I'm going to eat the pig. I said, God damn. West Virginia, Mr. E, shout out to you, homie.
There he is with his guns blazing. Charles motherfucking Ramsey live on YouTube 12 years after the rescue that changed missing person cases literally forever. It did. Because 3 girls declared dead, defied death, thanks to the help of this man right here that you are looking at. And he doesn't like to be called a hero, but he is a hero. He is Amanda Berry's personal hero. She said it herself. He doesn't like it, but it sucks, bro, because that's what you did. You paved that path for yourself. I'm still like mind blown.
The reason why I don't like that is because the police went next door to the house that was Ariel, and something, listen to me, something told them to excavate. Really? Okay. Good police work. Something told you to go next door, dig up that backyard, and find a whole bunch of dead embryos. And I'm like, well, how did the dead embryo bodies get over there next door? And come to find out, there was a swimming pool in the backyard. I thought that was for Jocelyn until Michelle made that movie on Lifetime and explaining to the world that that swimming pool was the place where she gave birth. And I was like, fuck me. That's what that fucking pool was. It was full of embryo. What's that? Say it right. Embryonic, the fluid. That stuff, the fluid stuff, connected to the umbilical cord.
Dude.
And he even helped the police put the crime scene tape up. When they were excavating the corner, he helped them put the crime scene tape up.
Yes, he did. That's why I say, Nick, this story can go on forever, bro.
And it's gonna. This is so far from over, Mr.
It ain't never
Guy.
been covered or talked about.
Yes.
Yes.
This is crazy.
A ship led
That's what. Did you hear what I just said? Did you hear what I just said? All of a sudden, they did some good police work. Then why the fuck didn't you find these girls before I did with your good police work? Get the fuck out of here.
So, and they really had the stereotype of the criminal there trying to insert himself by helping with the crime scene tape too.
Really. And he helped with searches, and he hugged Gina's mom because he knew her grew up with her, hugged her and said, I hope you find her. Have you heard anything? He took a flyer from her, took it home to Gina and said, hey, your mom's passing out flyers. Gina kept that flyer, decorated it. It was like her lifeline because she knew her mother had touched it.
So the red flags are crazy. So they had the 911 call. They had CPS. He had beaten his former wife, had all kinds of sexual assaults in his youth. He did all this crazy stuff as the bus driver, was dealing drugs in the neighborhood, had embryos next door, was
Windows
hugging
all
the mom,
boarded up.
helping hang up crime scene tape, and they couldn't figure out who this guy was for a decade.
Complained about the music one time to Charles, playing rap music.
And his windows were all boarded up too.
Was there a detective on any of these?
Detective Cook, and I only know that because of Charles.
His name was Scooby-Doo.
Was there one?
He goes, this guy named Detective Cook told me, Charles, you know who you rescued? That's the only reason I know the detective's name is because of Charles over here.
That's actually, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It is. It's almost, it makes you realize that this is something that does happen. Like, but it does, I don't know. It's crazy. Like this, it could be a conspiracy because it's so crazy sounding. But it's not.
I listen to a lot of podcasts with detectives and that kind of thing. And one I was listening to, he was saying, in a lot of ways, whether or not your crime gets solved really just is a luck of the draw if you get the right detective or not. And really, that's just you get the one that's just not very good at their craft. And
these girls all different places.
These girls were gone for 12 years. Where the fuck were you looking?
Yeah.
They weren't sharing a detective, I hope.
It's like Cub Scouts going to war.
They weren't looking at the right places. They didn't. Just for the audience to understand, this is not a one-night shindig because you can't tell this. You can't even begin to tell the story Charles has to tell in a day or 2 days or 3, even in a documentary, which is something.
Exactly, Nick. This can go on for a while, bro.
And it's gonna. If it wasn't Sunday, we'd be going until 3.
You know what? If you ought to do me a solid because I don't know if I will be able to pull this off because I don't want her to relive shit. But if you can get a hold of Amanda and you have her sit right there, I'll just shut my mouth and you let her answer the questions. Ask her, when the fuck did you get kidnapped and what the fuck was it like? Go. Because she's willing to talk about it because she's free.
And I want to know from her, what red flags can she give us?
There you go. That's what you want to know. And the rest of the world wants to know too.
She's a warrior.
There you go. That's a warrior.
And nobody can get that story from anybody but her. And that story is inspirational from all 3 of those girls because anybody else, including the parasite who stole them, killed himself because he couldn't live in a normal prison, let alone get raped, brutally beaten, impregnated. They mastered the art of survival. I think that's what it is. It's an art of survival that those women mastered. And the art of the escape is where Ramsey comes in.
It's like that girl. It's like that girl read Sun Tzu, and the art of war became her goddamn battle cry, and she just ran with it.
And
you heard the story about how Michelle, or Amanda, when her baby was 5 and it was time for kindergarten, they're in captivity. And she wanted her to have the most normal experience she could. So they'd get ready for school and, she'd say, let's go. And they'd pretend they were walking to school and she'd say, red light, stop, green light, stop. And they'd do this whole walking thing. And then she'd deliver, they'd get to the table and then Amanda would go from mommy to teacher and teach her school. But she wanted to try and make it somewhat normal.
Yeah. Now, you're not going to tell me that don't take no type of toll on a human? Are you fucking kidding me? And Nick, once again, you my dog, and I love you to death, and you know that. You my brother from another. But you can't tell me that girl ain't no fucking hero, bro.
She's a hero. I couldn't live through that.
That girl is bigger balls than me.
We have moms who don't mother, and they're not in captivity. And she did that in captivity because she wanted her daughter to have normalcy. And we have mothers nowadays who wouldn't even if not in captivity, aren't doing that.
It literally is crazy when you think about what has come with how they do this, how they don't really investigate until there's nothing to investigate, until somebody else does their job. But we're coming back. I'm not going to tell you guys a date because there's going to be many of them. Charles is about to make a comeback because he should have never went anywhere. I don't know what happened, and I understand that you have a job, but you are somebody that needs to be known because people need to do what you do and be normal Americans and help women out.
I had to get a job, not because I needed to pay my bills. It's because I had to show people that don't let that fucking fame in the internet go to your fucking head. You ain't shit. You're just a monkey who can talk and you walk in the upright position. There's nothing special about you, motherfucker. Go to work. That's what you were created to do. Go to work. Don't matter of fact, don't even be impressed that you landed a fucking 6-figure job. Last time I checked, you're supposed to, because you did what you're supposed to do to get a good education, to land a job that pays me 6 figures. So why the fuck are you proud of that? You're supposed to do it in the first fucking place. So you don't get a pat on the back for that. Are you shitting me? So that's why I work, bro, because I'm supposed to work. What I wanted McDonald's to do and the rest of these fucking big-ass companies is to help pretty lady over here that actually gives a damn about somebody other than herself. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you.
It's a rare breed, man. It's such a rare breed, and it's sad. It's sad that, like, when I saw you on TV, I said, that's the kind of neighbor I was. When I think about an American, I think of Charles Ramsey. I don't know what you guys think of, but I'm sorry, but I see America in you, bro, because you are America. The way you said it, you bleed red just like everybody else. For those that don't know it, Charles is a Republican from Cleveland. Nobody believes it because he's black, he said. But it runs in the blood. You said your father and his father and his father. It's not about politics at the end of the day, but Charles would make a damn good DA. And I think if Cleveland is a Democrat area, it should flip to Republican and follow Charles' lead. Because this guy, if he kicked in a door without a badge, imagine if you deputized. Imagine if somebody deputized Charles fucking Ramsey to go around and not only inspire people to do what you did, which is just be on the lookout and step in when everybody else runs away. Be the man that goes toward the people that are in need of help instead of with the pack that's running. People need to see that you did it. A lot of people don't know that. The younger generation, they just learned about Dead Giveaway. Some of them that are seeing the videos come up, and Dead Giveaway becomes more than just a slogan or some viral clip. It's literally a story of how a normal dude woke up from his normal life, went to McDonald's on his bike, came home, started eating his McDonald's, and had to change the lives of three ways. It went from Ariel Castro being the devil playing God to him doing what anybody you would think should do in those shoes, but obviously not. That kick blew a door open, and it blew more than just a door open. I mean, you saw what happened after that. The rest is history. You were on flights every other day. You were falling asleep on CNN. I think you almost, and this is going to be a talking point for next week or 2 weeks from now, you almost got Anderson Cooper. I talked to him, and he was petrified that he was about to get almost fired from CNN because you almost dropped the N-bomb when you said bro. You were like, bro. Because he asked you the dumbest question everybody asked. Well, if you knew this last year, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm not Angel Cordero. What I would have done last year is I would have not went to McDonald's because I know what happened with that nonsense. I would have went and gotten me, instead of having a Rolex, and I would have busted that door down. And once again, taken Ariel Castro out and told the girls, run, call the cops. I mean, that takes more than balls. That's the American dream. It's an American dream to be able to do what you did, Charles. You saved 3 women. And for that, we are all forever grateful because it worked for you. We can't say to people, believe in miracles.
Hope.
Not to mention that while I was breaking the door down, I lost $10 million in Bitcoin. So if you could give that back to me, I'd be much appreciated.
Where is Aunt E at? I think that Aunt E Mystery is she's very
into the crypto. Very much into the crypto, yes.
Man. But no good deed goes unpunished, and you got punished 10 times over. But guess what? You do it all again.
Like a son of a bitch. No good deed
goes unpunished, bro. My movie that I base my life upon, other than 300, is the Boondock Saints. Which brother? Both of them. Yeah, both of them. I'm both of them wrapped in one. And I'm also one of them dragons on the Lord of, on the what's my show I watch with that broad with the fucking the Game of Thrones. So yeah, I'm one of them dragons. I'll burn your ass right there where you fucking stand. You understand? Yeah. So yeah, I'm like
that's what we need in America, and I think we need more of these raw panels that just tell people, look, this is America. If you don't like it, you're a little bit weird, because what is there not to like about the guy that rescued the 3 women? What is there not?
Bro, I wish that the fucking aliens would show up, and I'm talking about the big one, the big mothership and shit. I mean, with the lights and shit. You know what I'm gonna do when I see that motherfucker? I'm gonna pull a cigarette out and I'm gonna light it, right? And I'm gonna walk slowly and wait for the beam to come down. And take me up there, because I got a lot to talk to you. And when I get up there, you know what I'm gonna ask him? I'm gonna ask him this. Surely you're satisfied at what you see on this planet. You're happy with the rapes. You're happy with child molestation. You're happy with child being sold into slavery. Any atrocity on this planet, you got to be saying, those son of a bitches pull it off, because that's what you want, right? Because if you didn't want it, then why the fuck is it on this fucking planet? See, I'm confused. See, that's why my confusion comes in.
But do you think it's to get people like you out? I'm playing devil's advocate. It's to get guys like you out to show their true colors. Because if there wasn't that demon, how would we know who is good? And I mean, I guess it's a mind fuck. It is a mind fuck, isn't it? It's like a chicken and an egg situation.
There's a couple of towns, Charles, I'd love to put you in just for have you go to for about a month, just so they know you're there. They know you don't care about.
He showed up to have Tennessee. If he went to Tennessee, they'd be out.
They'd be running for it would be population
you would
2.
Take on.
Honey, listen, whatever you decide to do with me, I shall deliver.
Rescue.
Yeah, see, I'm gotta, yeah. Other than the man that's right next to me, we come with no fear. So trust me, we'll pull it off.
And I heard you're a force to be reckoned with. I heard you tell people that when they asked if you're in contact with the girls, you told the network that you are, and you hope you don't have to be, because if you do, that means somebody's doing something they shouldn't be, because you'll always be there for them as their personal bodyguard, and you'll be there in a minute, and you're a force to be reckoned with. Obviously, you are the man, the parasite. Stop saying man. Ariel Castro is a parasite. The parasite that did this is dead. I wish he didn't die so quick, or at least the inmates got to him, or like a gang or somebody and had fun, but it is what it is. People like that deserve to be tortured. They do. I don't care. They do. What a coward. Guillotine, do it. You know, I am all for that stuff. When you harm children or women, like, and kidnap them and rape them, I mean, and then impregnate them, and then the pool, and then help the mother look for them, and then it gets worse and worse. It's like you're getting food poisoning, but then you're brat poison in the middle of this story, because it gets worse. There's no happy ending. Amanda Berry's mom dies while she's in captivity. I couldn't. For her to not be wanting to stab Ariel, I'm sure she does want to stab Ariel. I mean, I would. She's a warrior. Nothing short of a warrior. All 3 of those women, Michelle Knight, who had nobody, and the only hope she had was that somebody would find Amanda and Gina, and then by proxy, Michelle. Michelle has family with everybody in the world that knows her story. Millions of people. We are family. Charles has family around it. He's my brother and a half. But as soon as I found out that we're having him, I said, we are keeping him, because this is a friend that you keep forever. You don't have him once. You don't have it. This is a guy that redefined cases indefinitely. He brought hope back where there was none. Gina's parents themselves said that you are the man that could have went the other way, but you didn't. Her mom said that. Her dad said that. Amanda Berry said that. Michelle Knight everybody has said that. And we need more people to know who Charles Ramsey is. Again, guys, thank you so much for coming on. And I guess a question, we'll let you a quick question. When we reached out to you, and we said, yeah, we want to do this, and you could tell people how we told you about the filter and all that. What made you say, okay, yeah, I'm down, I'll do it, for a long form interview in a multi-part, obviously, because we're going to continue this conversation?
Harry, he hates when I bring his name up. Harry's the silent, he's behind this, you know, he don't bring my name, don't say shit. He's like that. I move in silent. I'm a fucking vigilante. I'm not, my circle is small, like that type. So one day I was at work
and 2 weeks ago, actually. And he's like, hey, bro, I don't know who this dude is, but I'm going to do my homework on him. His name is Nick, and we can't pronounce your last name, so I did that. So I'm like, okay, what's he want? He's like, well, see, that's the thing. I don't know, because this dude ain't small. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's Joe Rogan type shit. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want with me? He goes, well, other than you're a hero and he might be a fan of yours, I guess they just want to get to know you and talk about what happened and what led you to do that and what you're doing now and blah, blah, blah. I say, all right. I say, where they from? He say, Texas.
In Texas.
Texas. I say, all right. I say, you ever been to the grassy knoll? He goes, yeah. I go, well, if we ever go to Texas, I'll take you to Dallas and we go to the grassy knoll. I'll show you where JFK allegedly met his fucking demise. He's like, what the fuck's that got to do with Nick? I go, I'm leading up to that. I go, once we leave Dallas, we go find Nick and bring Nick back to the grassy knoll. So what the fuck you want to be a tourist guide of Houston all of a sudden? What if I told you Nick was from Hawaii? Would you still have this enthusiasm? I go, yeah. I go, because see, the big picture here is I thought I didn't have any more friends on this planet other than immediate family and the ones that I work with.
Bro, why? That's a dead giveaway. You've got millions of friends, but I'm gonna let you go.
When he said you and I Googled you, I said, well, shit, I don't really give a fuck what he does for a career. That's his business. I say, me and this motherfucker ought to just hang out and shoot some pool and shoot the shit. That's why I say, yeah, I'll do it. Because I'm looking at your Facebook and YouTube and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, this cat is younger than me, which means when I did what I did, for him to even remotely remember, I had to strike something in his head. I'm embedded in his brain some fucking way. Something about me, he's like, that nigga's all right. And hopefully one day I might meet that son of a bitch. In the event that I don't, who gives a fuck? The point is, that nigga's all right. That's why I did this.
And it was so unexpected when you responded. I'm like, wait, they're serious. They want to come on. And I love when people do look into me. And I think that my background helps because I've been in prison for fake news. I didn't turn in sources. I refused to give them up. And they sentenced me to 2.5 to 5 years in prison. So I know the difference between the jail and the prison. But I think that helps me in what I do. It helps people that wouldn't regularly talk to reporters or anybody in that nature. I also work with Dog the Bounty Hunter. But since I've been to prison and I'm on parole, they are willing to talk to me, right? Because they feel that not many people have that.
Because you don't strike me as a journalist. You strike me as a homeboy that just wants to get some fucking truth to somebody somewhere. And if it changes somebody's life, then you did your job. That's all. I mean, you might be a journalist, you might be a blogger, you might be a streamer. But the point is, Nick got a mission on this fucking planet. Just like my homegirl over here and my nigga Mr. E down here. We all got missions on this motherfucker. So maybe our mission is to come together and do what we got to do.
Mm-hmm. We just did come together. I mean, this is wild. Any last question before we wrap it up just for this episode? We're doing a whole series on this. This is a lifetime, as in lifetime partnership, not lifetime network.
If y'all come to Cleveland, I can take you to, I work at Red, it's called Red the Steakhouse.
You left Hodges?
Yeah.
I only know about them because of you. I would have went there to support them, but now that I know, they can get lost. I mean,
no. They take care of them. They're good people. Okay. It's just that you can only come there twice a month. If you come there more, then they'll take it out of my paycheck because them steaks expensive.
Oh no, I can't imagine. He's in there eating the steaks.
I do have one question, Charles, for people who are living in a neighborhood where a child is missing and they're maybe hesitant or afraid to get involved, or they've heard something, they've seen something, and they're being silent. What do you want to say to them tonight? They may be afraid for different reasons. It may be, whatever. But what do you want to say to them if they know something, they've seen something, they've heard something, and they're not saying something or taking action like you did?
How do you live with yourself? How do you sleep at night?
That's how I feel.
Because you can't tell me that every human is not wired. I don't care about autism. I don't care about mentally challenged. That doesn't mean shit to me, bro. You can't tell me. Every human knows when something's wrong. You feel it. We're equipped to have that. And for a motherfucker to still be belligerent and stand firm and not speak, if you're not part of the solution, why do you not think you're not part of the problem?
That's such a great answer. That you're so right. That's exact. Then you become part of the problem. I love that. Thank you, Charles.
Well, I don't know that So many questions I could ask, but I do hope that people see you talk this way and hear your story, and it's inspiring to them. I think about like you see all these videos of people getting bullied and beaten, and there's a crowd standing around recording or doing nothing. And I hope that people are inspired by you to stop being a bystander and step up and help people when they need it.
You know the reason why there was nobody videotaping me helping Amanda? Because you know that's how that works. Something goes on, somebody somewhere doing this, and then that video goes viral. Do you know why my videos or one was never uploaded? Because I'm walking up and down the street, and this ain't no viral moment. This is me trying to fucking figure out and gather and ascertain what the fuck I just got myself into. Because the only thing on my mind is getting the fuck out of it. Because I'm a drug dealer with crack cocaine and a fucking gun on me. And now I'm surrounded by fucking cops and a goddamn news reporter.
Luckily, they're not going to arrest a hero on national television, bro. I highly doubt it, because
even if they did, that would just make a better story
a lot better too. That would have been wild.
You know what I mean? Even if I did get arrested, that would have just.
I would have burned down a city to get you the hell out. I don't give a damn about skin color. You took Charles, motherfucker. I'm on my way. If they did something, I don't care what he's got on him, because he was going to use it on Ariel, and that's allowed. I still can't believe
now you get it. Now you understand that I had to put certain things away because I was going to take the law in my own hand, and they would have reversed that shit. And now I'd been looking at 30 to fucking life because
that's a lot worse than 1,000 years, because you will actually live through 30. 1,000 is a joke. Yeah. What is that? 1,000 years. Oh,
yeah.
Life plus 1,000.
Yeah, well, give me a. They need to do public hangings. But I want to build a platform for you. The way I came to YouTube, I have a little story for you. When I came here, I didn't want to go on this YouTube. I have nothing. I don't talk to people. You're the first person I actually have spoken with on my channel in a year. That's the last time I went live. I only go live when it's like something that people have to hear. Whether it's a child that's missing, an escaped murderer, it's something that people want. It's not something that I'll go on and just talk about the weather and have a stream and random cases. My ADD will drive you nuts. You're the first person I've had on in a year, and I made a vow that I wouldn't go live again until I was able to talk about a case that I'm not able to talk about, which is why I have a couple of guests here. And with that said, I did fulfill my promise of going live again while keeping the subject of other missing children that deserve more than attention. These kids deserve to be found. They deserve a Charles Ramsey to look outside a little bit and see if there's some boarded windows. And nothing hurts with calling the police for a welfare check because the guy's got boarded up windows. And if there's something weird, say, you know about the Cleveland 3 case, they'll come and check on that house, because guess what? They don't want another Charles Ramsey getting back from McDonald's and it happens again. That's a problem. That's a big problem. And that's why your story is so important for the world tonight. It's also important to go into textbooks. People need to know that cases like this have as happy of an ending as it can be, even though the mother of Amanda is dead.